Up right here on govsradio.com, and for everybody watching on Facebook Live, we got thousands tuning into Facebook Live today. This is the game show where we take two comedians and put them in a series of comedy challenges to see which one has what it takes and which one has what it ain't. I'm your host, Don Sill, and now let's meet our judges. How you guys doing? Our first judge is a big part of the Long Island comedy scene and has appeared in many comedy clubs across the East Coast and is the former co-host of Fingers Metal Shop on BAB and currently can be seen right here on Govs Radio with a show called Three's Company with co-hosts Bonnie Scalisi and Mandy Jones, who are both Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up winners. You're the Italian stallion of comedy. We welcome Tony Lindorfi, everybody.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to be here. Thank you very much.
It's great to have you. And our next judge is stand-up comedian, celebrity impressionist, and voiceover artist. He performs all over Long Island and all over the country, doing a ton of great impressions. And after you meet him, I'm sure he'll leave a great impression on all of you. See what I did there?
That was great.
This is John Santo is here, everybody. John Santo.
Thank you. It's fantastic to be here.
Our next judge is straight out of Knock 'em Dead radio show on Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. She is the engineer extraordinaire, Sally O'Neill. What's up, Sally?
Hey, everyone.
Thank you, judges, for coming down here on a Saturday night. We really appreciate it. And now it's time to meet our contestants. Oh, I also want to say hello to the Gagoots. Gagoots.
Benny.
Where is the Gagoots? Oh, he's over there.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
It's the Gagoots.
Happy Saturday. Happy after Thanksgiving to everybody.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving, Gagoots?
Oh, yeah, I had a wonderful Thanksgiving, but I had to do all of the cook. I cook for everybody. I cook for the whole neighborhood.
What do you make? What does the Gagoots make on Thanksgiving?
Well, I make a filet mignon. I make a lasagna. I learned a new ravioli. Yeah, lasagna. Everything. I make such a big dinner that I invite the turkey to eat it with everybody. I don't kill the turkey. I say, no, you get a little fatter, maybe next to ye.
Well, we're looking forward to the Gagoots today because the Gagoots, what I didn't get to tell you guys is round 3, the Gagoots does a roast battle. Against our comedians.
I'm ready to battle these two.
I
thought he was roasting.
I'm going to kid you not.
Come on, Gagoots, bring it on.
Gagoots are making the turkey.
And now let's meet our contestants, everybody. Our first contestant is a comedian, actress, and writer. Her new book, Bullied at the Dog Park, is out now and can be found on Amazon.com. She's got it going on. She's Heather Lerman.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Heather. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming down on the show. Our next,
Nice to be here.
Yes, awesome to have you on board. And our next comedian is straight out of the United States Marine Corps. Can I hear hoorah?
Hoorah!
There you go. He's a comedian from Huntington, Long Island. He's clever. He's funny. He knows 200 ways to kill you if he has to. He's Eli Velasquez, everybody. Woo! Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. Eli, we'll start with you. Thank you, first of all, for serving our country as a Marine.
Yes, thank you very much.
We really
for your
appreciate
service.
that. How long were you in the service?
I was in 4 years, 2003 to 2007.
And those are some pretty heavy years, wasn't it? I mean, where were you? Like, what was going on at that point in our?
Believe it or not, a war.
Which one?
Both. I went to both. I went to Afghanistan was my first tour, and Iraq was my second tour. I was in 0311, which is a front line. So, bombs, bad guys, bullets. That's what we did.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, being in that kind of environment and being a Marine, where you would assume everyone's like real serious and wants to like kick your ass all the time. Where did you find the comedy? Where's the funny?
Oh, everything. You got to have some loose screws to even just sign the dotted line to do it. So the common ground is, we're all pretty fucked up. Can we curse?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, my virgin ears might be.
No, that's cool. Just need to know. You get put in some messed up predicaments. You're taught from the very beginning, and you prep yourself, and then once you're out there, it's the real deal, and you see things that most people will never see 10 times over in a lifetime.
Or want to see it.
Nobody wants to see it. It's war. Nobody wants to see it. But when you see those things, it's hard to not take everything as funny. because that's the only thing you have left as salvation within yourself.
It would
So
be
we
the-
use comedy a lot within ourselves without that. I mean, if you heard the conversations, Mothers of America wouldn't be happy.
You have to find a funny in order to just keep your sanity. I would assume some of the things
that's
you've.
the last bit. I mean, if not, I mean, you're already miserable, and if you don't have any funny, then you're below rock bottom of the miserable. You know what I mean? Like, wow,
Were you,
that's it.
Were you the guy in the trenches, so to speak, that was making all the other troops laugh, or was
I
it
think
a mutual
everybody,
thing?
everybody in their own way. You got the melting pot of America. You know, in my squad there was different ethnics, different backgrounds. One guy who just came from Russia because he was like, you know what, you guys are going to war with Afghanistan. So I came over doing the Marine Corps. It was like, all right, cool. You know, and he's nuts, you know, obviously. But it's like you said, now we're talking to a guy who's from the other side of the earth. You know what I mean, with other different backgrounds. So like I said, you get all that in a room, and you really get a lot of great stuff. I mean, those are the best memories I ever had. You know, best times. It was the worst, but it was the best. And those guys there made it better.
And God, you know, again, thank you for what you did, and thank God for comedy to keep you level-headed, and here we are today, and we appreciate everything you do. So one more hand for Eli before we get started. Now, Heather, when you look over at Eli, does he look like he could potentially be a bully?
I'm scared. And I have no chance of winning now. I only wrote a children's
You wrote this children's
What do I do for my country? I teach kids that bullying's not okay.
and bullying's never okay.
Oh, I thought there was a how-to manual.
That's my dog, my Boston Terrier
Yeah.
Kirby, that was bullied at the dog park.
Oh,
And I
wow.
turned it
Did he
into.
tell you this personally?
I watched it.
So how do dogs bully each other? Because I know you say
So-
smushy face.
Yeah, so he's called a smush face breed because they have the little pinched in noses, the pugs, the Frenchies, the bulldogs, the Bostons. So there's a technical term, but I never like to say it because I don't know how. But anyway, he was bullied over throwing a flying disc because you can't say frisbee, it's trademarked. And a dog jumped on top of him and beat him up for the frisbee, and he was a puppy. So we went through that, but that stuck with me, and I was like, awesome title, bullied at the dog park, and I was actually bullied by the owner of the dog who bullied my dog.
Really?
And I had to take her to court and everything, so.
Wow. But you
Yeah.
win because now you got a book out of it.
And a short film that just won a bunch of awards at a short film festival.
Oh, very good for
Yeah,
you.
I
Awesome,
turned it into
Heather.
an animation.
I'm saying your name right. Heather Lerman, right? Lerman?
Yes.
Very good.
Lerman, it doesn't matter. But you know what? My dream is for this book, the series, being an educational, adorable dog and a snide remark cat, of course, series, to educate kids about different life lessons. That's
Very good.
to be a cartoon series.
Who did the artwork?
A friend of mine named Scott Payne. He's an illustrator.
Very nice.
And he took it all from just photos of me sending him photos of actual dogs and.
So after you had it with the other owner was giving you a hard time, you said, hey, your dog's picking on my dog. That lady says, what are you going to do about it? So then you decided I'm going to write a book. How did you get to the book? How did like tell me, walk me through.
I did, okay. I was just telling Don here, I said, please put me in the middle because I am unemployed now. I just sold my business of owning a dog walking pet sitting franchise for 8 years just a few days ago. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening now. But I've also been acting, the book's out, the animation's out at the film festivals right now.
And you just won.
And it just won a bunch of awards at the New York Long Island Film Festival. It was so exciting.
Oh, wow.
Actually seeing it on the big screen at Seaford Cinemas a couple of weeks ago. It
Wow,
was
that's
crazy.
amazing.
That's
That was
amazing.
just
Awesome.
crazy because
Yeah.
that is my dream. Adam Sandler, if you're listening,
You want him
you're
as a
supposed
voice?
to play.
I am listening.
I know some guys who could do voices for you.
No,
for the enemy.
to pick it up, he has the Happy Gilmore production company,
right.
and he has my book. I played on the movie a week of, and he has my book. I signed it to his girls, and he has 2 bulldogs, but one passed away, Meatball and Matzo Ball.
If you don't get Adam, I can do it for you.
Okay.
There we
Thank
go.
you. Thank you.
And I'm a lot cheaper than Adam, believe me.
So we're getting ready for the joke writing challenge, and before we do, I always like to ask the judges to just take a good look at these two. And what's your first impression? What's your first impression just looking at them?
It's, what I've learned in the years I've been doing this, you can't judge a book by the cover, no pun intended. There's some people you see and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be horrible and blows the roof off the place. And then there's people you see and you're like, oh my God, this person's going to be fantastic. And they eat a shit sandwich. I don't judge by how they look. A Marine and a child's book author, it should be quite interesting. But I don't,
ready?
I don't know.
We
I'm
like to
pretty
mix it
sure
up
I
here.
bought weed off Eli once.
Maybe.
No, I don't smoke weed, so.
So you say.
Now, Heather, as a writer, this must have been right in your wheelhouse. When you got the premise and the keywords, what do you think?
I have to be honest with you. I'm the type that my brain doesn't stop, so I've known for 3 weeks. I didn't know the words until last night, but Benny Gagoots
The Gagoots.
invited me on the show a few weeks ago, so I've been changing and writing. It drives you crazy because you're just constantly changing and writing.
Right, right.
So.
And how about you, Eli? What was your process?
Just smoke weed.
And then it just came to you.
It's all natural, man. Just like the weed. Just comes from down here, it rises
right up again.
and it blossoms into something great. So,
I'm getting a
Wow.
contact off Gagoots.
I mean, originally I was scheduled for December 14th, and then
Got on early.
somebody apparently got injured during training, so I got the 10-day call up. That's how they do it in the UFC. So I came in like, whatever. I train all the time. I ain't worried about Miss Book storyteller over here.
Okay.
Can we get a hoorah? Hoorah!
This book is just a front,
She's really the bully.
Yeah, right? You ain't hear the other
I think
one?
she's the
took her
cat.
to court.
She's the cat.
That's it. I
I
called
didn't
the
take
cops,
that
took her to
beyond
court. I got
your
everything.
heart.
She left out the part in the book where she wrapped the lady in the head with a pin.
Choked her with the collar. Get off my dog.
You don't mess with my dog.
That's
no?
it.
I know
That's
that.
it. That's what, number 7
Well,
rule
now-
of Fight Club?
Yeah.
Don't mess with
My
my
dog
mess with
is
the
the
dog.
head of Fight Club now because of that incident.
All right, everybody,
Right,
are you
folks.
ready to unveil the jokes? Well, first, we will go to the Gagoots to explain to us what this round is.
Round 1, the drawing board. Every comedian should write their own material, and this round will test their joke writing skills like no other. Both comedians were tasked to write an original joke with a comedy premise and 4 key words that they received 24 hours prior to tonight's show. Judges give their score based on originality, creativity, style, resourcefulness, and of course, funny.
Yes. So now it is time for the joke writing challenge. The premise was given to them 24 hours ago is life of the party is the premise. And the keywords randomly chosen from randomwords.com is collect, reputation, identification, and undress. And to see who starts first, we will do our classic game of rock, paper, scissors. Are you guys ready?
I've never played before, but
Well, you guys want, you know the rules, right?
Where
1,
the
2,
hell you
3,
from?
scissors,
I really never played this
paper,
before.
or rock.
What
I feel like
wins?
bullying her.
Makes sense why she's a bully. It's not negotiable. It's not negotiable.
Rock, paper, or scissors?
All right, so it's 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
And when you say shoe, remember you got rock, paper, scissors. Don't really pull them
What's
out.
paper? This?
Yes.
That's paper.
Okay.
That's
Rock
rock.
the fizz.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then-
Paper's
and
flat.
then
What always
scissors.
wins, rock?
Scissors the peace sign.
Well,
All right.
Okay.
Nothing
Stop!
holy.
Don't do that! Don't do that! Stop! That don't look right. That don't look right. She
Let's
tried-
go. Come on.
All
Let's
right,
go.
all right, let's go. She
ready?
rushing it.
You go first, Eli.
I
Eli
go
wins
first?
the
I thought
why
it-
I asked.
won?
scissors. You
No, rock beats
You won.
scissors.
Yeah,
Oh,
rock
so
beats
winner goes
scissors.
first. I win lost purposely.
No.
I lost purposely.
Life of the party.
Life of the party.
Whenever you're ready. Eli.
There we go. When it comes to streaking, it's more. The identification is not to just undress. All right. It's more to collect a reputation. So when I go around universities and I give that speech, I let them know that they can be somebody. And the sorority girls raise their hands and be like, "What do you mean by that?" I'm like, think about it. Streaking is what's going to get you popular. And they always give me a standing ovation.
Streaking makes you popular, everybody.
There's
Eli.
no punchline. That's
So now-
it, streaking.
Well, we'll let the judges deliberate and kind of get your scores together and let me know when you guys are ready.
Score right now.
And John, since you're such a like the impressions, if you could have Tony Soprano give this answer when you're ready, all right?
Kristen.
I can do that.
Or whichever character you want. But I love your Tony Soprano.
Thank you. And Tony Soprano it shall be.
Awesome, man. So now, Eli, when you were writing that joke,
I
what
tried to
was
accommodate.
what made you get
No,
into?
I mean-
The weed was kicking in.
No, it was definitely kicking in. It was some good shit. Just life of the party.
3 separate scores, just one.
Just one score for his joke. Yeah,
Okay.
1 through 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And
So
the
pretty
weeds-
much, I just thought, the movie Old School, Frank the Tank.
There you go.
Everybody goes streaking. I wanted to work more on it, but I figured I was like, let me just start with that.
No, I liked it. I thought it was good. You got all the keywords
Yeah.
in, and it had a nice little learning curve there to it, right to the punchline. It was constructed
Yeah.
well.
It's very bland,
organizing
but I
guys.
figure when you put it in a set, it can be something because the whole premise is you're not realizing that.
It could bridge to the rest of
Yeah,
your
that
set.
I'm a motivational speaker at universities,
There you
and
go.
that's what I tell them.
Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start with Sally. Are you ready, Sally?
Sure.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I gave you a 7. I like how you I liked your storytelling. I like how you tell stories. You're very comfortable in, telling it, no nervousness, and it's hard to put all those words together in one sentence. Not the easiest. So yeah, it was a solid 7.
Solid score. 7
take a
from
7.
from
I'll
Sally.
take a 7.
Nice.
I'm ready to see a 4. I was comfortable with that. Like, you gave me a 4, I was happy.
Tony, what do you
7.
got?
I gave you a -3. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Like Sally too, I went with 7. I like your delivery, your confidence in when you were putting it out, your idea of streaking, because it's hardly ever done anymore in
Right.
real life and on stage, and just how you came out with it and everything. No punchline though, so that was
Yeah.
But
Well-
still to put those words, try to write something.
It is,
with
it
those
is.
words. I would have a problem doing that too.
Yeah,
so.
but I have it in my back pocket to make it something.
There you go.
something-
So
something
see,
out of it.
even if they don't win, they at least got
They walk away.
you know,
It's the
some kind of joke. They
Oh.
all right. But yeah, I went to 7 also.
very good 7 from Tony Lindorfi. And now Lindolfi.
Yes.
My bad. Lindolfi.
Not Dorothy.
And now we got John Santos. A.K.
Santo.
Santo.
Man, you suck.
I am having a bad time with you guys' names. But I was gonna call him, Tony Soprano, but then I also want to call him his real name, so they don't think that he's actually like.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Yeah. John Santo, with AKA Tony Soprano.
So I gave it a 7. Because it's a freaking difficult premise.
Yeah.
But you fucking made lemonade out of 11.
There you go.
So I give it a 7. But the no punchline, I concur.
Yeah.
It's a little rough without the punch. In my business, I'm used to punch.
There you go.
I'll take that. Thank you.
I have a request. Can you be Edie Falco for me?
That actually wasn't bad.
She's amazing, Edie Falcon.
I know.
Her and my mom go to the same gym.
Do they?
Really? What gym?
She's
Up
incredible.
in Stone Ridge, New York, upstate.
Oh, nice.
I thought she's from here, though, isn't she?
Edie
Yeah,
Falco
originally,
from
yeah.
From here,
New York,
yeah.
upstate.
I
she
love
lives
her.
As soon as they can get out, they do.
So, with parties, guys. So Tony, you look like you've been to a few parties in your life.
Yeah.
What's the last party you've been to?
The last part I was
Yeah,
at was
yeah.
Sunday night at Carrie Karavs's house.
So how was it? Like, take me through
It
your
was good.
party experience. What do you do? Is there any party faux pas? How do you conduct yourself at a party? Are you the wild guy, or are you just in the corner?
I keep very low when I first get there, and then after like my 7th or 8th bourbon,
It just comes
yeah,
out.
It just starts to come out, and and then the next day I have to, go through what I said and send out apologies to people. So, yeah, it gets sometimes it gets a little rough, but I was very good at Carrie's house. I didn't go nuts. Rich Walker, he was bad.
Rich Walker
But I
was
oh,
really,
yeah.
really.
Oh, terribly drunk. Yes.
Wow, I can't imagine Rich
know.
Walker. Yeah.
I've known Rich for forever. That was the first time I ever saw him drunk.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't ever want to see it again.
Is that where he starts dropping F-bombs and stuff?
But yeah, unless it's a party I'm throwing. If it's a party I'm throwing, then I'm just screaming and yelling at everybody the whole time, and we're just having a good time. It's, you know.
Yeah, just a blast, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're there for. You're there to have a good time, not there to sulk and pout and everything, you know. So,
And John, when you go to parties, is everyone constantly asking you to do voices and stuff like that? Like, what's the life of John Santo when they know that you're an impressionist?
Yeah, so sometimes people do ask me to do voices, but mostly I'm trying to figure out where the food's coming out. So I position myself.
Get on the line first.
I position myself strategically to the foods, and that's where I hang out. And hopefully they come out with the food, especially the hors d'oeuvres.
The hors d'oeuvres are the best part.
They're the best part. But yeah, people do ask me to do voices a lot. Yeah.
Excellent.
And I'm always happy to do a voice or two.
Now, Heather,
Yes.
it's your turn for the joke writing challenge. Now you said you kind of enjoyed this process. You were way ahead of the curve.
Well, I changed it a bunch of times. So it could kill me in a way because my mind just keeps going, wait, let me change that word. Wait, let me throw this in. So we'll see.
And are you a little more nervous or less nervous after hearing Eli's joke?
Less.
Oh, it's on, baby. All right, are you ready, Heather?
It's
with
on.
your joke. And this is, where is it? The party. Go ahead. Life of the party. Life of the party.
Okay. These words were a little crazy random, so. Is it worth being the life of the party? Sure, you make everyone laugh and get everyone drunk until your guests start to undress, lay in their own puke, and your so-called friends ruin your reputation by putting you on social media. I collected all their identifications at the door, though, so that I wouldn't be the next Me Too movement.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Topical.
Heather Lerman, everybody. All right, we'll start with you this time, Tony.
oh, I didn't even
Oh,
write it down yet.
take your time, deliberate the jokes. What do you guys think, Sally? How'd you feel about it overall? You don't have to give your score yet. We'll start with Tony, but just how'd you feel?
I thought it was good. I thought that it bringing the Me Too into the thing was good, keeping it topical and stuff like that. Delivery-wise, it sounded a little rehearsed, like you were standing in front of the mirror, like you were in a play, like instead of. But other than that, I liked it. I thought it was kind of funny, and she had a punchline.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to give Heather a 7 also. For
Very
my,
good. 7 from Tony. Lendelphi.
There you go.
All right, we'll go with Sally.
Oh, me? Yeah, same, 7. Yeah, for different reasons. Like I thought it was like a little bit more of a punch. I thought it was fine. I think I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was good. Sorry, I don't have any more critique, but nice job.
Good
Thank
job
you.
there. Sally. Mr. Santo.
I'm also going to score it as a 7.
We're tied.
It's a good joke. I like the punch.
A 7 from Al Pacino.
He told me to do a different voice each time.
Is that Al
Yeah.
Pacino?
That was
Awesome. Good
I
stuff.
love Landolfi. Landolfi's terrific.
Thank you.
And you do all of the presidents, pretty much, all the modern day presidents.
from Reagan and Nixon up till the present. So Obama, Bush, Clinton,
No Herbert
Trump, no Herbert Hoover.
What would Obama think right now about the show?
I think that Obama would think it was pretty good, but that the premise was tough. But delivery is something you need to do.
That's damn good.
Thank you.
Okay. So how you guys feeling so far?
I gave you the bone. You dropped it. It's a 7 all around. Come on, Heather.
7 all
You had
around.
it. She got the punch too. Y'all gave her a 7. All right. This is a rough crowd.
Yeah, it's a-
Well, I
said
think
rough
it was
crowd.
It's a
rehearsed a
rough
little
crowd.
bit. We said.
Because
But you're an actress too,
because I
aren't you?
read it. Yeah.
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 That's why.
Well, these guys are professional judges, staff here, so we just take in their critiques, and you know.
I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see that's
Yeah.
why you were probably rehearsing because you're used
Right.
to that technique.
Right. Right.
Right. It's not that it was bad. It was,
Yeah, I think it was a well thought out joke. I think joke for joke, hers was definitely more constructed and
I like
yeah,
the Me
better.
Too.
Yeah.
I like the Me Too.
The Me Too thing was great.
I like that. That was high.
Thank you.
Now, Eli, when writing jokes, now you're a relatively new comedian, right? A couple of years in.
Yes, year and a half.
So when writing jokes in this time period, with the Me Too stuff going on, and you see comedians getting in trouble, you see, you know, comedians losing their careers over things they say or masturbate about, and then so what I'm saying,
Masturbation.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you? Does that play a factor in your stand-up?
No,
Like,
I
say-
really don't give a shit.
nice.
Everybody's
Yeah, you
really
can't.
entitled to their opinion. It's just sad that you know, words hurt people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see we all got age in here. You know, whatever happened to the sticks and stones. You know, but you know,
Well, when you know
my
that
son's
it's a comedy
18,
show.
so I know how these millennials they softies.
Wait, you have an 18-year-old son?
Yeah.
You have an
You have him when you were 12?
No, 12 and a half.
Look at He's so young.
I thought he was
You
young.
want to hear a real quick story? Real quick.
think
I'll
he's
give
like
you a
25.
30-second story. I actually found out in 11th grade. He was born in my first week of my senior year. He was born on September 11, 2001.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Is that when you
Well, at
decided
least
to go
got
to
That was a
good?
punchline.
You got a good story.
Huh?
Yeah.
September 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Safe
positive.
to say
And
I
a good
saw two
son.
tragedies that day.
Right.
Got 'em. That's it. My day's done. I gotta go.
Drop the mic, boom, you
That's
go.
it. I'm good. Yeah, have a good night. You won. Love y'all.
And Heather, with you with the Me Too movement, how have you seen as a woman, obviously, the change of the tide, the culture change? Have you are you seeing it better for women, or is it now even harder for women in a way, or how is the landscape for you? What's the temperature like out there?
I think it's crazy. I feel bad for young men growing up in this era because they don't know what to do. I don't know what. I don't have a young son, so I don't know what mothers are teaching them these days. Like, you can't say this, you can't do this, you can't, always ask permission. It's strange, it's a different world.
It is a whole different culture. I mean, like when you guys were doing comedy,
Yeah.
you didn't have to worry about
There were certain
so
things
much.
you couldn't say the C word. That was like a big.
right.
Which
I
one?
know the C word. Yeah, exactly. You still can't say it.
I'm just saying.
And there was
I'm
just-
still confused, but I.
See
There
you
was,
We'll
next
talk
there were
Tuesday.
certain taboo things that you laid off, like racial stuff and stuff like that. But that has grown so much now in this day and age. You know what I mean? You can do a joke about your pet turtle and somebody's gonna get offended.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
You know?
endangered.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Species.
That
You
is-
dare disrespect the Amazon?
It's somebody's gonna get upset about it. And like Eli said, I say what I say. If you got upset and you got offended, I don't give a shit. Don't go somewhere
people
else.
fail to realize,
Go to
like-
your safe space and get your crayons. and-
I've seen Tony greeting the crowds as they exit. he doesn't give a shit.
That's right.
You can.
I've seen him. Never mind.
That will hurt.
Some
That, if
stories
you
are
start
best
caring,
left
that will
unsaid.
hurt you.
It will hurt
It
you.
will
That's
hurt
what
you.
I'm saying. I think it's going to hurt comedy because what upsets me is that people pay to go to a comedy show, and then they get mad at the comedians. It's like
Yes.
you deliberately went to a comedy show.
Right.
I still.
Not by force.
Right. You
I
weren't forced
still
to get
am
there.
trying to figure out how the reason people get. You go to a comedy show and you got offended.
Yeah.
You won't figure it out.
It
Think
still
about it like this:
baffles me.
how many videos you will see on YouTube? Great comedians,
Yeah.
crowd, great response.
Yeah.
But you got that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they bitch, and then they stand up, and then they
But
take
see,
away the
one-
moment
but-
of the creativity and the
Don't
joke.
talk
I
to
believe in that.
I dismiss them immediately. It's like, look, I want to talk to the other people that like me. I don't
Yeah.
I only get to do
You
this
see
once a
somewhere they
week.
start creating
Yeah.
a show, but it happens. You know,
You know
all
what
I'm
we
saying
should
is-
put on the back of the ticket? Same thing the airlines do. If you die, you're only getting paid $75,000, and we're only responsible for $1,200 for your baggage. After that, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's what we really
I-
should. You
I
can
took
only.
the
It should
class
be a
here.
disclaimer on the back.
Don, I don't know if you know, I took the class here. with John a couple of years ago.
Okay, cool.
And what the first thing he said was, well, when we were going on to our live show for the
Mm-hmm.
first time, don't do any Trump jokes. The room will get up and leave. I've seen it happen.
Drunk jokes?
Trump.
Trump.
Oh, I love doing it.
So that's
I love doing it.
they basically
don't care.
said people have gotten up and left the whole
'Cause-
room. So,
What if you tell a joke about
Like it's
Trump?
pro-Trump
well,
or
if you went off on him,
Right,
you know,
right. See, I do all the presidents, but I do them in a non-political way. I do
Right.
them as Viagra spokesman.
right.
So there's nothing political, and no matter,
So
I've
no
done it
politics.
for rooms of both stripes, and it's never been a problem.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
But
I've
you-
read
It's
it's not.
fantastic.
It's nothing political.
No.
No.
You
It's
can't
very
talk
funny.
about anything.
Thank
I don't know. It's so hard.
It's-
But you had to
There's-
deliberately
there's-
make it not political,
Yeah,
just
but
to avoid the
I've-
BS.
Just to avoid it.
Right.
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
noticed now that a lot of guys who are more established than we are coming out and saying this is what we're doing, and comedy's not supposed to be politically correct, and that's how it is and stuff. You know, guys like Bill Burr and Joe Rogan and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Chappelle,
So,
the-
Chappelle. So I think that it's coming back where we can go up there. Not, you know, there's some things that you know, don't make fun of somebody that's got cancer. Or something.
Right.
Right, yeah.
But you know, but
I somewhat disagree.
I've
I'm
done
a firm
it too,
believer like
but-
this. Leave it to that person and the creativity.
Right.
If they can make it funny,
Right.
then they get it. Now, if you don't, you got to deal with
Some
it. You know what I
things
mean? You got to
that
understand
can
it's
come-
a
that you think are going to be
50-50.
funny, and you think that the way you're saying it's going to be funny, and that's what got
But that's how
Louis
you live and
CK
learn.
kicked off SNL.
Yeah, that whole
monologue he did
that monologue was
about,
crazy.
You know, pedophilia. So and he was.
And then what? And then what just happened?
And then was.
Like, I mean, think about it. It's a.
There's no. He wasn't supporting it, but just. You know, the people in the crowd like, oh my God, I said child out there, and everybody's.
There's certain
Yeah, they
words
get-
that people
they
go to
get-
battle
They
stations.
get hurt.
Did you
Yeah, they
guys
get
see
hurt.
Seth Meyers' special? He actually had,
Oh, you could
I'm
skip.
going to go to political. You could skip, and you could literally
You could
skip it.
Oh,
and then
really?
it says, politics over, you could come back now.
See that? You got to love
He
technology.
literally did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you're poking
See?
at the bear in a way, but in a kind way.
Yeah, that was like a funny
But then
way
you
where
have
he
that
was giving you
choice where
the
can
out.
skip it.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah, but
even
now
that
if you
bad.
watch it and you get hurt, it's like, yo,
Yeah, he
It
left it
was.
on you.
my man
Yep.
said skip it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you said, let me enjoy.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
I mean,
and that was kind of a brilliant move
Yeah.
on Seth's
Yeah.
That was
part.
very brilliant.
'Cause
That
no
makes
one's
me
gonna-
want to go see it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, no one's
Yeah.
going to fast forward through. They're
When
going
they
to
see
watch
it on
through it.
Netflix,
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're
It's on
uber
Netflix.
Trump
That's
supporter, you're going to
genius.
sit there
Yeah.
all pissed
Come on,
off
that's
watching
And
it.
he wasn't even bad anyway. It wasn't even anything that
People
bad.
take
Leave
it
it-
take politics too personally. Like I've heard jokes against or for the things I'm for or against, and I think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
right.
it's good comedy, then I laugh at it. But there are some
Yeah.
people that won't. There are some people that everything is like an attack.
I remember Jim Norton in an interview, like, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. He said that his goal is to make really uncomfortable, taboo things funny. And he goes, watch, I'm going to make rape funny. And he went up and did a whole joke, and I forget the joke and everything, but he managed to find a way to find a comedy within rape. Now, today, no matter how clever the joke is that gets you there,
Yeah.
you're going to hear about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He was in The Irishman.
Yeah,
Who?
Don Rickles.
Played Don
yeah.
Rickles. Norton.
Oh
Don
right.
Rickles.
Maniscalco was pretty good in that
That's
movie.
Crazy Joe
actually.
Gallo. Yeah. Okay, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the show.
But the thing is,
I'm gonna go see the
We went way
Irishman.
off topic.
Yeah, I know, right? She
I'm
brought up
making
Me
a lot
Too.
That's
And
What's the
Netflix
show about?
too.
None.
Yeah.
I just been pushing it.
We're gonna watch
What
it.
are these numbers?
What are we doing here, man? All that weed we've been smoking.
We were not talking about politics.
The Me Too thing just brought on all
Oh,
these
right, the
different,
Me Too.
Yeah.
all these premises, and that leads us to our next round, which is premise pressure. So basically, Benny will read the rules, but basically we have a wheel, a premise wheel. The contestants are going to spin the wheel, and then they get 3 spins with 3 different premises, and they have to come up with a joke on the spot based off that premise. So it's
Damn,
very
I'm a
difficult.
judge.
So,
And I know.
Holy God.
So
I
Benny's
couldn't
getting
do
the
this.
wheel together right now.
The Wheel of Fish.
And then
What's
we
round 3? They got to
alternating.
ride a tricycle through a Oh my God.
We make it
Tame this
up.
lion and then ride the tricycle through the flames
While telling a joke.
while telling a joke about it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Here's the
tough
wheel.
stuff.
So
Alternating
we'll start with Heather. So Eli, if you could just get out, make room for the wheel, and then we'll switch it back
Wheel.
when it's your turn.
The Wheel.
So this is the wheel of premises. And
mystery.
before we get started, Benny, you ready to? Once we get that set up there, we
I'm
will-
doing the wheel, everyone.
we will
I got
read-
on the beach, so right here.
I hope I can read
I'll
the
read it.
handwriting.
So comedy can certainly throw a lot of curveballs, and sometimes you have to think quick and repeat. So round 2 is premise pressure. We will see how fast these comedians are with a variety of comedy premises. Each comedian will spin the wheel of premises and must fire off hilarious punchlines with each premise they land on. Heather,
So I don't get to see the word?
you will. There we go. And
A little bit more. Sorry.
and we will spin the wheel
Okay.
whenever you're ready.
And I spin
I
the
might.
wheel for
You might have to help me decipher the handwriting.
Let's see what we got here.
Black Friday.
Black Friday. So here we go. Heather.
Okay. Gagoots. You're still here. I heard your wife was trying to auction you off for a sale last Friday. It's in
She's a jumping ahead. This is not a round 3.
That was one of
I'm
my
a nice to you right now. That's a one less joke.
All right, we got your Black Friday joke is in. Go ahead and wheel it again. Let's see what we got here. Round and round it goes. Heather Lerman. And it is on Chinese food. Chinese food.
Okay, last time I ate it, I knew it was cat. And I just couldn't digest it. It was so disgusting.
Was it this cat? The cat from the book?
Is it this cat here? Are you bullying cats?
You could
right
just you could tell by the texture.
now? All right, and one more here. With the wheel of premises, Heather Lerman, ladies and gentlemen, taking the wheel of premises. And this one is, what does that say? Hoarders.
Orders.
Hoarders are awesome. They're a whole dollar store. You just walk in and pick anything you want.
I don't know if I'd want anything at the hoarder's house. You ever seen that? Hoarder's
Still
stuff?
wrapped in the new package.
You get 4 dead cats out of it. I always got a dead cat on board. It's like every show.
Yeah, I know.
They always got a
Like,
dead cat.
oh, like there's dog poop everywhere.
Yeah.
There's this is
How
disgusting.
do people live like that?
I
don't
really
know.
knew a real hoarder, and she really did have everything still in the package from the dollar store.
How many dead cats did you have in the house?
Did you have,
They
yeah.
should call that show Lazy Bastard. Because that's all it is. You're just too lazy to pick up your shit.
Yeah, just pile it up, and they live in it, and they sleep in it, and it's just disgusting. I always imagine the smell,
Yeah.
and then I go to sleep.
Nice.
All right, so you guys have your scores in for Heather's. Now, doing this wheel of premises, how do you feel about it? Is it tough?
Yeah, of course, it's tough. You have
Finding
no
a
idea what
punchline.
word you're gonna land on,
Oh, it was a
or
breeze.
I'm thinking.
just think of real. I think of real life stories. That's all. You got to put it to something
tough.
real life.
Right. You gotta
I
make
never
it-
played naked golf, so I'm glad I didn't get that one.
I couldn't do this.
Eli might land on that. Yeah, we could try with you guys later if you'd like.
No,
Oh, that's okay.
that's okay.
All right, so we'll start with you, John. What do you think of Heather's premise challenge?
Well, it's very tough to come up with a joke off a premise that you just got. I would even say in a day it's hard to come up with a
Yeah.
joke with a premise you just got. I gave her a 7. The jokes were, they were good considering the environment that, all the strikes she had against her.
Right.
She managed to get a hit. On
Very
an
good.
0-2 count, you got a hit.
7 from John. Tony?
Yes, it's very nerve-wracking to do that, but if you're on stage and somebody, screams something out, you don't have a day to write a zinger back to that person. You have to be able to, take that person down. So, I understand. Yeah, that sucks. I would hate to have to be the guy to do this. Some of the things that I understood where he came from with him and stuff like that, but I'm not being as generous as John here. I'm going with a 5 on that one.
5 from Tony.
All right.
Sally, what do you think of the
Yeah,
premise?
I went in the opposite direction. I'm giving you an 8. I thought you had
Wow.
like 3 things to work out of, and I thought 2 out of the 3 was, like pretty funny being like on the spot. I thought you did great, and you were
Thank you, Sally.
confident and comfortable, and yeah, I liked it.
Thank you.
Excellent. There you go. There's your
Now that I
scores.
heard her thing, I'm
Like very-
Sally's right.
You've influenced everyone.
Really a bit of an asshole.
Little Dickie over there.
Never saw the words in my life.
All right, Eli, come on in. It's your turn for the wheel of premises.
Sally should go first on all of them.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I'm in high school and everyone's cheating off of me again.
And then we'll kind of take Sally's words into account because they're much more well thought out.
Yeah.
All right, Eli, are you ready for the wheel?
Absolutely not.
So-
Let's do it.
You got a bunch of random premises here. When it lands on it, you just come up with a punchline in regards to that premise. It's easy. Are you
It's
ready?
easy. I've been staring at them for like an hour.
Whenever you're ready, Gagoots.
We're gonna spin in a pizza pie. Round and round to get a sauce in your eye.
Addicted to porn. Addicted to porn.
Yes, addicted to porn. It's a very tough situation when you're addicted to porn, because for some reason you always got to pull out your phone and look at some porn. Sometimes you just can't do it in the meeting of your job.
Very good. Very good. I like it. Next premise. It goes round and round, Eli, with dog poop.
That's what's up. Dog poop.
That's what's up.
Dog poop. Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest things about dog poop is cleaning it up. Yeah.
Okay. Got a bunch of it in my house for you.
That's one of the greatest things. All right. Go ahead. And the third one. Here we go. Eli Velasquez. And we have Black Friday.
That's what's up. Black Friday. I don't like this whole, color scheme. You know what I mean? Are we gonna have White Tuesday next? Right? Caramel Wednesday.
White Wednesday.
That's a good one, right? The dub. Yeah, Black Friday. You gotta, Black Friday is just as worse as Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? It's a setup with food, and then the massacre. Black Friday, like, what do you think happened after the Pilgrims came? They massacred on Black Friday. Like, it's horrible.
Damn.
Y'all
that's-
celebrated.
And that's how we got the Pilgrims, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Eli, that's not easy to do.
No, it's
Definitely
You did
not.
great.
especially a dog poop joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. Gotta love
Shit.
cleaning it up.
But it's awesome, you said. You
Nah, it is, because, you're not stepping in it.
All right.
So we will start.
Never stepped in dog poop
We start
before?
with Sally.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's start
That's because you ain't cleaned it up.
Let's see Sally,
This way you can have a well thought out, intelligent
Yeah.
analysis.
Sally's take on Eli's premise pressure round. What do you say?
All right, so I'm actually going to give you an 8 too, and I know that sounds because even like the joke that you actually said eventually, even you working up to it and working with us all, that's what you have to do on stage. Like you have to work with people, and we're kind of your audience, and I thought you were just funny all around. Yeah.
Excellent. There you go. Good score from Sally. She sets the tone here. Tony's changing his already.
No.
What do you got, Tony?
Well, I'm going based with my assholishness on Heather. I went Heather by 5. On that one, I'm going with 4 on that. Yeah, they were some messed up premises and everything, but he basically repeated the premise 3 times, and then it was dog poop. It's great cleaning it up. Okay. Joey Cola's got a solid 5 minutes.
Oh
on
yeah,
dog poop.
yeah.
It
Great.
kills every
Yeah,
time he
yeah.
does it.
Yeah, except he didn't do spinning the wheel.
I know he didn't. That was my next thing to say, but he didn't come up with it spinning the wheel. But yeah, it's in all honesty, I should have scored higher for both of you. So,
But you're stuck with these.
Heather's
Yeah.
was better. In my opinion, Heather's was a little bit better, so that's why I go 4 with you.
All right, very good. Though it's still solid. You got some good advice there. And John, what do you have to say?
I went with a 7 on that one. I mean, it's a tough premise, but I don't know. I felt like it could have been I don't know. I hate to judge this because I know I would suck at that too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I hate
hard.
to, this is
I
tough.
hate
I hate
judging.
judging. Why did we agree to do this?
Because it's not just judging; it's also helping out
Yeah.
Yes.
newer comics and kind of getting,
But
giving them
it's-
advice and building them up.
It's just I know a lot of guys that established that if you threw that wheel at them, they would be sitting here.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
It is tough.
That's rough, man.
I didn't come in here thinking about dog poop. So
No,
it's not,
sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
I just cleaned it up at my house before I came here, and I couldn't have thrown a bit about it.
Yeah.
I have a puppy, so accidents
A
happen.
lot of poop.
A lot of poop.
But I think both of you guys did great on the joke, the premise pressure. So give yourselves a hand, everybody.
It's rough out there, I'm telling you.
So Rodney, what do you think about these comedians
Oh,
so
it's
far?
rough, I'm telling you, it's rough. Get out of the business while you're young.
Should I just hang out or no?
Tell me about the coming up in the Long Island comedy scene, guys. You guys have been veterans of the game. I know, Tony, you've been around for, what, about 20 years or so?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there, maybe a little more.
And what is it about the Long Island comedy scene that makes it so special in Long Island comics?
The Long Island comedy scene, we're like a fraternity. If you knew, if you've been in it for a while, whatever, we all look out for each other. We all get happy when one of us does well. I don't want to badmouth, city people and stuff like that, but I have friends that are out in L.A. and it's just totally cutthroat. Like, guys will stab you in the back in a heartbeat just to get 5 minutes,
Right.
and stuff like that. Here, we welcome you in, and you're on probationary period for a little while, and as long as you don't screw up and piss anybody off, you're okay. And then once we accept you into the fold, you're one of us. You're part of the brotherhood, or whatever you want to call it, the family. You're part of the family, and we try to help each other out as much as we can. I've met a tremendous amount of great people doing this, and I've made so many great friends doing this. Friends now that I would take a bullet for them and stuff like that. Not John Santo, but there's a lot of other people.
We haven't
that's
worked together
another
in a
thing.
while.
And it's another thing like that. Like, we can break each other's balls. Nobody takes it personal.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like, and the shit some of us say to each other. Like, they shit me and McNeely say to each other all the time. And not like in this premise, like
Right.
out fishing or just hanging out at the
Right,
bar. So-
right.
And the shit we say to each other, where if you said that like to a family member or something, they would never talk to you again. And we
Right.
laugh about it, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And it's, stuff like that, because we know where it's coming from, and we know how it is, and shit like that. But that's the Long Island comedy scene, and it peaks and valleys. Like, at one point, you could go get stage time anywhere. Like 5 nights a week, you could get stage time, whether an open mic or somebody's show or whatever. Like,
Right.
Then it dropped down where it was like, if you weren't that well established, you weren't getting that much time. And now I see it's coming back up. It's spiking back up. This new crop of new guys that are coming out. Everybody's got a mic somewhere. Everybody's got something going on somewhere. Everybody's very supportive of each other. They've gotten this new crew that's coming through. They've already figured out and got the attitude where, hey, if we don't help each other out, nobody's going to help us. So and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's how you build
know,
a scene,
what do you
and I feel like coming back to Long Island, I've been gone for a while. I can feel it's definitely a more unified comedy scene.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of the old guard guys like you have been around and helping out the younger guys like Eli here and Heather and bringing them in, accepting them, helping them.
Yeah.
And you don't always see that in a lot of other comedy, even like you said in the city.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels more like a grind the way they do it.
Yeah, it's grinding. Even in some of the other cities that I've performed in, like, it's there, but it's not there. It's not like how it is. I don't know. The Long Island scene is just there's something totally different about it.
Here, I feel like, again, I'm not a comic. I'm not shoulder to shoulder with you guys in the green rooms, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like there's more acceptance when you look at like the Comedy Cellar, where only certain people are at the table.
Exactly.
Things like that is exclusive, not inclusive, and I think that could ultimately hurt, a new career,
Yeah.
a new person coming in. Where here I feel like, all right, there's room for a lot of people, and I also think if you compare apples to apples here, or the Long Island has some of the greatest legend comedians to ever ever be on stage, from Lenny Bruce all the way to Seinfeld.
Right.
I mean,
And
Rodney.
I think that's because of the way we treat each other.
Yeah.
And that's why. Because not only are we helpful and everything, but there's a humility about us too. Like, we know not to be too much of an asshole. Like,
Right.
sometimes you can, if you can get away with assholishness at some points, yeah. But usually it's like to get back at a booker who was an asshole to you first. or something like that. And that goes a long way in this business too. If if you come up out conceited and you got that conceit, it's not gonna help you. It's gonna hurt you along the way. And there's more of that here than there is around outside of Long Island.
Do you go into, either one of you guys perform in the city a lot?
I've performed in all the clubs in the city. Yeah.
And is there a difference in?
Oh yeah, it's a big difference. Huge difference. It's a huge difference. It's very a lot of fake stuff like that, and it's not. You don't have that camaraderie like you have here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all of us in the scene, we all have that camaraderie where you might find it with like one or two people, or maybe three out there, and then it starts to build up. It seems like they had it and then they lost it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like you have your little cliques of people, bam, 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 bam. Whereas here, we're just all in the pot together.
Exactly, man. And like, John, who are some of the comics you came up with in the scene, and who are some of your comedy family, your buddies?
To say reiterate what Tony said, I think just about any comic, I know a lot of comics that are new. I know a lot of comics that are very established. I know a lot of comics that are somewhere in between. And if I treat everybody the same, then that's how I treat them. So I'm nice to the new comics, except if I see like a new comic who thinks that they're a lot more than they are, then I'll kind of like slap them down a little bit. Yeah. But other than that, no. Then I'm always very nice. I don't.
That or if you steal.
Forget it.
If you steal, you're shunned, just like the Amish. You are shunned. Yes.
Exactly. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
You got to police yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's technically not a real crime, so you guys got to kind of police yourselves. And hey, man, you steal.
That's why I wish we had our own courts, our own police, because the normal courts are not equipped to handle with joke theft. First of all, murder should be legal in that respect. We are our own culture. We should be separate from the regular courts.
Exactly.
I've always said that.
But even with that, the first time you do it, you'll get a warning. And they'll be like, hey, man, that joke you did, that's such and such. Don't do it again. And then if you do it again, then you get... So even here, like, with that just shows, how nice we are. That we won't give you the boot in the ass right away.
Right, not right away.
Yeah.
But then if you do it again, then that's it. Hit the brakes.
Now, sometimes you have where I wrote a joke and somebody else wrote a very similar joke.
Right, that's parallel.
Very cross, and that person been doing it a long time, and I hadn't seen them do it, and I just stopped doing it. I said, sorry for the crossover.
Yeah.
It just happened. It was accidental. It's obviously your bit. That's why you need like a Library of Congress to hold who had it first. That kind of thing.
Is it harder for an impressionist, like with other impression? Like let's say I do a Bill Clinton, you do a Bill Clinton.
Yep.
Now we're gonna have feuding Bill Clintons?
No. I actually get along great with people that do impressions, because a lot of times, I've seen this with many impressions, they will pick up maybe a different part of the impression than I do. And neither one is right or wrong. It's just that's what they picked up out of the impression.
Right.
Like, there's a great video of two guys in England saying why their Michael Caine is the real Michael Caine. And he's like, it's not quite nasal enough the way you're doing it. And you don't do the emotional voice. You don't do Michael Caine when he gets upset. I'm not going to bury it under Batman. Right. So it doesn't, but that doesn't, they're both great at Michael Caine. But they're feuding over which one does, because he's like, in the 1960s, Michael Caine talked like that. And it's true. Right. So it's a matter of which, are you doing Michael Caine from the 60s, or are you doing it from Batman? Right. It's a different Michael, even the same impression changes over time.
Nobody gives a shit about impressionists.
We're the elite of comedy.
And that leads us to heckling, everybody. We are going to get to the Gagoots, and it's round 3. Is everybody ready for some Gagoots action?
Bring Heather back around? Or?
Well, first the Gagoots will go versus Eli in this round.
Oh.
First to me and my paisan over here, Eli.
Paisan.
My paisan over here. We're gonna have a good time.
Now I will read you the rules. When performing stand-up comedy, comedians should know how to handle hecklers and be able to roast a person at the drop of a dime. So this round, these comedians have to face off and trade insults with the Gagoots for 3 minutes. This will test each comedian's roasting skills and their comeback chops. All right, fellas, how you feeling, Eli? You feel like you're ready for the Gagoots?
Yeah.
Have you been waiting for this all week?
I think this is where being in the Marines is going to pay off.
I'm not scared. I got a lot of family that were in the old Italian Navy. You know, the new Italian Navy, we got a glass bottom boats.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah,
it was
so we
cannolis.
so we can look at the old Italian Navy.
Oh, nicely done. All right, Gagoots, what do you think of Eli so far?
I love this guy, but he got me a little mad. I bought oregano from him, and he had a bigger price for the oregano. And I cooked this oregano. Everybody started to dance and taking their clothes off. Ding, diddy, diddy, diddy. Like we
Sounds like
started
some
to
good
make
oregano.
a wine right in the kitchen. We were stepping under the grapes. And this is some oregano. I thought it wasn't worth $300 an ounce.
Tony, is this offensive to you?
As a comedian, it's offensive. Not as Italian. As a comedian.
I love you, Tony.
All right, are we ready? Eli, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Gagoots, are you ready? 3 minutes
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
I'm
clock.
ready.
And
This is all the
let's
fun and games.
get roasted.
Okay. Eli, most of the people, they stuff their turkey for Thanksgiving, but you impregnated yours.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. It's funny how you dress because I don't know if you're gonna paint an Italian picture or make some Italian food.
If a laughter isn't the best of medicine, your face must be curing the whole world.
Oh, shit. Wow. Well, since I know you're a member of the Super Mario family, shouldn't that be overalls?
If I had a face like yours, Eli, if I had a face like yours, I'd sue my parents.
Yeah. You're an Italian Jew.
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean? Somebody get a my rolling pin, you son of Donamici.
Oh, you gonna cut a pizza?
I gotta cut about 16 slices out of you behind.
The Gagoots, the zucchini.
You're some of the beach.
Yeah.
You're
That's
a
it.
real summoner down in Michi.
You ever had some kukuza?
I love a gagutza.
Oh, the gagutza.
I love it.
Gagutza, you gotta love it, right? He likes the extra long zucchini. You know, catch a little bit facine.
Whoa! I gotta make you a nice strugazangul there.
Yeah, the kukuza is his gurmara.
Whoa! Whoa! You've been hanging around with my family.
Bunch of
Oh, man.
jabrules.
You better stay away from my cousin Regina. I cut over your nuts.
Nah, Regina
I
make
make
that
a
good
meatball.
sauce. Got that good sauce. You know the tomatoes are real ripe.
Whoa! Hey, you're talking about my family.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me
my
borrow your
God.
apron.
Right now, I would have slapped you, but that would be animal abuse. Stop trying to be a smart ass because you're just an ass.
No, okay. I got Pete on speed dial for that one.
No,
That's it. Come on, keep it coming, Gagoose. You
all of
got
that oregano you smoke. Your mind is on a vacation, but your mouth isn't working overtime.
Yeah, you asked for oregano to smoke. I thought you wanted it for the food.
Keep rolling your eyes, and maybe you'll find your brain back there.
You need to straighten out your mustache.
You're not as bad as the people say, Eli. You're a lot worse.
Huh? That mustache, you look like a crossbreed of a Mexican and Italian mafia.
Oh! Oh! You're probably the only Spanish guy I know that doesn't play baseball for summer team. He's not on a AAA. You're on a triple Papangul.
10 seconds.
So how much money do you get for being on the Chef Boyardee can?
That's my
And done. Woo! Great round, fellas.
Holy
Great round. That was great. God, Eli, how'd you feel about that?
I mean, you heard it. I feel pretty good.
That wasn't your first rank out session. Huh?
No, definitely not.
That's
Definitely
what
not. I had a lot of Italian friends. I actually had
You
an
know,
ex-girlfriend who was Italian,
show-
so
This
I was
show's
around
been
y'all a
on.
lot.
This show's been on an hour, and you finally got funny.
Hey, you know
Hey, the time of the
That's a below the congeal.
Bell
That's
rang.
You had to come up with his on the spot. You had a week to write that shit.
Hey,
He knew on Sunday I was gonna be here. He told me Tuesday.
I got a people take care of this for me. I'm a celebrity chef. I got a lot of people. Hey, you get me a joke. I give you a meatball here.
You got a garlic knot in here?
Oh, Tony.
Hey, yo, that's real Italian. He's using a pizza box as his desktop.
That's a bonus. That's a bonus point.
Calzone.
He gets a bonus point.
This is a calzone. I put pizza.
Did you draw that?
Pygmy pizza. This is for pygmies. I make a nice small pie.
Hey, Benny, that's
some-
the original lap desk.
There would be
That
a
was
lot
brought
of
down
writing
from
on the
generations.
inside. You have the price and you have the stains. That's the menu. Yeah, we got eggplant parmesan over here. We got the sausages and the peppers over here.
Very nice.
This gave me a good idea for a laptop case.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wow.
Yeah, that would be good.
That's a genius.
Patent that before the show's
I'm telling you
over.
right now, all Italy is just gonna pop.
He's playing Guinea Battleship over there.
That was a good one, man. That was good.
Ships of the calzones.
You summon a batch. C5.
You sunk my noodle.
All right, let's you guys want to start with Sally again?
Yeah.
Don't
All right.
start with me again.
Well, you're
Come on.
you're really good at this, Sally.
Oh my goodness. No, when do you guys go?
All right, you ready, John? You ready?
That
That was a really good give and take.
I mean, I was laughing out loud. I felt dizzy at one point from laughing. So if you almost gave me a stroke, I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
I don't know. I always look at you. You're a good scorer. I'm gonna have to
Not
give
last
that.
round, apparently. I was an asshole last round.
I'm gonna have to. I gotta give that a 10.
Wow. A big
I got dizzy.
10.
I gotta give it a 10.
True laughter coming out of the judges. Oh yeah. That
What am I gonna do? I gotta get. I mean, I was laughing. What
I
am I gonna
was
do?
in tears myself.
What's a 9 then? What the? I don't know.
Tony, what do you think?
I thought it was great. It reminded me of the days back when I used to hang with my boys and we used to just snap all day on
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
That's all we did. I'm not going to be as generous as Santo here, but I'm going to go with a 9. I'll give you a 9 on that.
Wow, 9
Yeah,
out of 10
yeah.
so far. You really
Only because he
racking
threw
up
out
the
some
points.
good Italian curse words.
Yeah.
That's when he found his comfort zone. That's when he got in the pocket.
And we weren't offended. We're Italian.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought
You
it
started
was,
with the rice and beans.
it was hilarious.
I said Facino to my father when I was a kid. He beat the shit out of me. I didn't know what it meant.
You should have saw me earlier while I was smoking weed. I was on Google. I was like, ooh, that's a good one. It was so good, I wrote it down twice. I was like, don't forget that one.
Sally, what do you think of Eli's and the Gagoots' battle?
Yeah, I mean, I thought to like throw Benny off as like it's a big deal, you know, because he's completely prepared. Plus, he's Benny, and he's really good at this. And you really went, head to head with him. And also, as like someone who's not a comic, like one of the things that I've noticed about you people is
I love that, you people.
you're really tight with laughing out loud. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because you're writing jokes, you're hearing jokes, you're around really funny people, so it's really hard to make you people like
Not me. I'm
laugh
that's
all
the
night.
exception to that.
And
yeah.
you guys
I
were like
laugh at
rolling
everything.
all over the place. So yeah, I thought you totally rocked it. You were in your zone. 10.
Wow. Another 10. Heather, you got this, Heather.
Chrissy's next book, Heather's next book is going to be Bullied at the Podcast.
All right, let's
Who gets this material at the end?
Thank you.
All right, Heather, come here. I want to
Now,
talk to you before
I almost feel like
the
we should
Gagoots comes.
score after both of them go, right? Because now it's like a different dynamic.
Well,
how do they do it at the Olympics?
But then you
Do they
can't
score
remember.
right there?
yeah, they screw it right there.
Oh, they do. All right, then never
After
mind.
the ice skating, yeah.
Never mind. I don't watch that ice
Expectations are
skating
too high
bullshit.
for me now.
Now, what's,
So, Heather, how are you feeling now after seeing the Gagoots in action and Eli in action?
I don't know any Italian curse words.
That's all right.
I'm not Italian.
You don't need to. There's been other really great
I don't need to
insults
be-
without
yeah.
the Italian curse words.
I'm
but-
gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Well, I just want you
Don't do that.
to dig deep. You got this.
Don't do that.
All right.
No, I'm
so-
kidding.
Well, I just
I'm
want to go
kidding.
on the premise of Gugu's inviting me on the show. When I asked him why, he said, because you're so sweet and nice. So
That's right. You
Yeah.
the
Oh.
belly. Oh,
I'm
well,
so
the
sweet
belly.
and nice.
So does this take you out of your comfort zone?
No,
Because-
yeah. Now watch as he
You're nice, but
makes him cry.
That's why he invited
I'm so sweet.
He's
and
gonna
nice.
bully you.
Yeah.
you. So we're gonna take you out of your sweet and nice comfort zone, and now you have to insult the Gugus.
You can't hold back.
I'll try.
All
I'll
right?
try.
This
Okay.
is
Get him, Heather.
this is like, first day of PMS and no chocolate available. And you gotta let him have it.
Just think
Alright.
just think of the mother of the other dog and what she put you through,
Oh yeah.
and how she doesn't like smooshy faces.
Smushy, smushy.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah, hold-
All right, everybody. And 3, 2, 1, roast.
I gotta know blonde jokes for you because I would need another blonde to explain it to you.
Benny, you're so stupid. You're the 180-pound tumor that was Dr. Pimple Dr. Pimple Popper took you out of your mother.
Heather, I've seen people like you before, but I usually had to pay admission.
You're so hairy that you're in the gorilla cage and they teach you sign language.
You're around dogs so much that whenever you walk past a fire hydrant, you lift a leg and pee on it.
From here to here, you look like a 70s porn star. The rest of you just look 70.
The Mattel Toy Company wants to make a model doll after you. Blonde the bitch Barbie. Blonde the bitch Barbie.
Italy called. You're a total embarrassment to the country. They said to give you the big boot up your ass.
Whenever someone throws a frisbee to you, you catch it in your teeth and bring it back to them.
Your emotional support animal's your mustache. It keeps trying to run away, but you keep gluing it back down.
Oh, that's an I never hear that.
I'm a writer.
Hey, Eli, you see the jokes you can write when you know smoking? Heather, I bet the carpeting in your house is made out of older newspapers.
Gugoots, my grandmother said your cannoli is really more of Little Wet Penny.
You consider everything a competition, even when you are playing with yourself. Oh, come on. It's a joke, Jesus. What were you talking about before?
Terrible.
You're so stupid, you don't even know that your wife registered you as her emotional support animal so she gets discounts on travel and hotel.
You're so dumb you think Cheerios are donut seeds.
You're such a bad cook, you burn cereal.
When a thought crosses your mind, it must have a long, lonely journey.
You're so mean, make Judge Judy look like Mother Teresa.
All day I thought of you, Heather. I was at the zoo.
Because you're in the cage learning sign language.
To make you laugh on a Saturday, I need to tell you the joke on a Wednesday.
Benny, your face is so... I'm sorry, I messed that one up.
Come on, do it.
Come on,
Say it! Say it!
Okay, Benny, you have such a perfect face. It's perfect for voiceover work.
Nice. And time.
Oh, hey, I have one more. Hey. That's good. That was
Business. High five.
That was a good.
Good job, my friend.
Good stuff.
That was great.
I didn't care for what Benny said. I didn't care for what Benny said. I didn't care for it. Oh, it's not nice.
I wasn't even listening. Don't worry.
So how'd that feel? You're out of your comfort zone. You're insulting Nigga Goots. How'd it feel? It feel great? Did it feel like
Yeah, it felt
like
good.
cathartic?
Felt like I just worked out.
Yeah, you feel amazing. That's why it's so great to just be an asshole sometimes. It feels great. But no, how'd you feel about it overall? I think you did terrific.
You know, it's great because I've been watching the show, so it helped because I had to come up with new things. I noticed looking online that a lot of the people have just copied stuff from online. So I made sure every joke was original.
Right, excellent. Good job.
Originality.
Kudos for that.
Points for originality.
And that's the
But I was
writer in
actually
you.
shocked when I looked online at insult jokes that everyone used them from just right there, right on Google. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know nothing.
So I like I like.
I gotta know Godfather. They said Michael Corleone, he wrote that joke.
Tony looks disgusted right now.
Disgraziato.
Oh,
We will start with you, Tony. Because we started with you last one, right?
Yeah. We did.
So, Tony, it's all you. What do you think?
There was some good ones. There was some real good ones. A couple fumbles on it, but it was some good ones. I gotta go with a 9 for Heather also. I do.
Excellent.
It was good. She was coming hard and everything like that. Yeah, I liked it. This guy, I don't know.
Goots.
What's going on here, man? Like, what happened? Seriously.
What happened?
Was there an accident or something?
what's the matter? What's the matter? You know, like,
Stumbling. I don't know, Benny.
I wrote some of those.
You didn't write any? Yeah.
No, I did.
I know, the shitty ones. That's the ones you wrote.
Did I mention that you get your hair and nails done at a Petco?
Oh.
I don't know if I forgot that one.
No.
Come on, she loves the dogs.
It's over. Come on.
It's never
It's
over.
not nice. I could say something nice, nasty about you. You wouldn't like it, see? I know.
Oh, come
I
on.
keep it to myself. I can tell everybody you're so stupid you think judo is what they make bagels out of, but I don't say it because I'm nice.
You think Tony, you think manual labor is a Mexican. Someone on beach.
Oh, see? Now you're and we got a Latino sitting right there.
yeah.
A Marine.
Yo,
Now when he whoops your ass.
that's Americano.
Yeah.
Americanito.
I go to the next one.
Okay. You look like you were ready to say something else. I was like,
No.
yeah. All right, John. What do you think of this Heather's battle skills?
Suffice to say, I thought she held her own, especially against the Gagoots. So the score I give, it's the way certain people want it. I'm gonna give Heather a 10 too.
10 from Silvio. Very good.
I was surprised to hear that come out here.
Yeah, she said.
Yeah, I was.
Guys, I'm an actress. I set that all up. That Benny invited me because I'm so nice and sweet. See, I had it in
You
your
were
head.
ready for the
and then
big
I was
twist.
like, yeah, mother.
You know what? You know what I saw
I'm
there?
being bullied over here.
I saw what I saw of Return of the Jedi. Release your anger.
Let your hatred flow.
Let the hatred
A lot of
Sally, what do you rank Heather at?
You know, I thought you were great. I think I thought the jokes were smartly written. I think I'm gonna give you a 9, and here's why I'm gonna give you a 9. Like, because I gave him a 10 is because I felt like you were like slightly stumbly, and you had like the stuff that you wanted to say. Whereas like I felt like Eli kind of did what he was going one-on-one with him. He would listen to what Benny was saying, and then he was attacking what he was saying. And I think that's, unless I'm wrong, I think that's like more of.
Well, in my defense,
game.
Don
No, go
said
ahead.
have it prepared because
Yep, I told them
he
both to
told
be
us
ready.
to prepare for them.
Yeah.
So.
No,
But I
it's
understand
fine.
that.
Yeah.
But I knew.
It was just a little bit more comfortable
was
with
worried.
Eli, probably because he's stoned. I don't know. He's very comfortable. He's got a lot of regular.
No, I was worried that because I've been watching every show, it would be repeats,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to have it in my mind to say something that someone else said. You know
Yeah,
what
no,
I
it was,
Right, no,
it
you
was
did
great.
great.
And
You did
9,
great.
like,
Good
is really great.
No, it is
It
great.
is, you know.
It is.
Good
Thank
scores
you.
all around.
Very good.
You guys are wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm
Me and
afraid.
Benny,
I think I
medical
need a
health
bodyguard
disease.
tonight because Tony's gonna beat the shit out of me in the parking lot.
Gagoos, every week now that the show's been on and people are watching and they're prepared for you, is it getting harder for you, or you have to raise the?
You better you is. It's getting hard.
Now he's got to go to the second page of Google.
You better go down a few.
I gotta have a sit down. I gotta have a sit down with Mr. Google. I needed some more recipes from you.
Well, you're doing great, Gagoos. You're holding your own. You're keeping all of our contestants on
A
their
lot of
toes.
people say I got the edge.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what edge, you son of a bitch? I gotta spend all week.
Now,
I gotta
no one steal my
60
mustache
jokes.
joke.
You know how many jokes I go through?
Yeah.
She does a 10. I did 20 to her 10.
Yeah.
You don't know how to count, right?
Oh.
Oh, look.
Now it's fun. Now it's fun.
All right, I gotta go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gagoos. Thank you. Eli, come back in the spot here. So, guys, being the veterans of the game, both of you guys have been on countless stages all over the country.
Yep.
When dealing with hecklers, is there still a lot of times when this heckling has it gone like? Has the mood changed where this heckling is kind of stifled down, or is it worse? Better?
My whole thing with hecklers is first I ignore them. If that doesn't work, then I might just like look at him and like give him something. But if I have to hit you, you know that you've gotten to me so bad that I have to hit you, you're not gonna be happy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, either they're gonna shut up, or they're gonna get up and walk out, or you know they'll get tossed. Something's gonna happen because.
Well, you got that kind of presence where you look like you don't take shit from the audience.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
so
mess with anybody
yeah.
in the audience. I leave everybody alone.
Right.
But if you open your mouth and start
Right.
with me, then it's over.
I'm
Then
saying the
you
comic
just-
like you probably they don't open their mouth too much because you look like you're ready to boom.
Yeah,
You got
but
that
I've
look
had
about you.
Guys rush to stage too. and-
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. It's
When did that happen?
the old road rage days with McNeely and Gallo. Oh, so many times where we've, you know, it's gotten to the point where we were like had to almost fight somebody.
Wow.
Because it's just got, you know, either Terry or me or George or somebody who's just hitting people, and then
Because
you just
Terry
hit a-
and
hit a raw
George
nerve.
Gallo, great comics. You
Yeah.
ever- the three of you together, I could see kind of maybe agitated, you know, or getting the room riled
Right.
up. It's got to be exciting
if
time.
it's a good kind of rowdy thing, then it's awesome.
Right.
I'm all in favor of that. If it's a good kind, but if it's, you know, she got some jerk and he's blah blah blah, you know, then yeah, we'll hit him, and I'll find something that'll, you know, my goal then is to make you cry. Like maybe contemplate suicide. Like that's
You
how
wanna really
bad-
go.
Yeah.
It's gonna
There's
get
no
bad.
holds bars. I'm up there trying to work, and everybody that's in that room bought a ticket to come see a show. They didn't come to hear you know, that guy's
Exactly.
stupid mouth.
Do you
going
find
off.
that it happens more in like New York, or does it happen everywhere? There's always someone in the
No,
crowd
it
that might
happens
do that.
all the time. It happens everywhere because, and usually it's somebody who like doesn't get out much, and they're like, "Oh, I want to be center of attention."
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
I know how it is at a comedy show because I've watched every episode of Seinfeld, so I know
Yeah.
how it is." And that's how you help the comics out and blah blah.
Yeah,
and
no.
So yeah, when I get done, the first time I worked with Santo, that lady gave me that crap, and I wound up
I still remember that 10
calling her
years
the
later.
C-word.
At least he told the story. I didn't want to tell the story.
And
She was actually already out the door.
Yeah, and I did.
Tony
she
went
was
out.
getting-
And her husband smiled at me.
She knew.
Somebody need to tell her.
Yeah, exactly.
He knew.
Do you have stock material for hecklers, or does it just come off the cuff?
So I try not to use stock stuff. There's some things that I do, you know, like if it's something goofy, you throw something out. But I'll look at the person and you know, it's like the Terminator when he's looking at something and all those things are
Yeah,
popping up.
yeah.
It's like that, and I'm like, bam, bam, bam. All right, this is what I'm gonna take, and then
Yeah,
I'll hit
yeah.
him with that. You know. Well, like I was saying with Eli, when I was younger, before I was doing stand-up, my friends and I, it's all we did. For hours, we just sat around insulting the shit out of each other, and that really helps you out down the line because you learn to get quick with it. You know,
You're quick. You're already dismantling mentally in your mind this person from their sneakers to
Yeah.
their whole life story, and then it also sharpens you up and it toughens your own skin.
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah,
coming back
but
at you too.
See, girls don't have that advantage because we only talk behind each other's backs. So that doesn't help me.
I mean, I was a volunteer firefighter, and all we do in between calls is break balls.
Yeah.
So that really
That
helped me a
doesn't
lot
happen in my
with
life.
with my development. But in terms of anti-heckling, I mean, a lot of times it's like if it's something light, like I'll just come back with something funny and I'll try to make it like an amusing thing.
Yeah.
But then you also have to make it clear that I work alone,
Right.
And it's not about that person. I mean, the real hardcore heckler is a coward. Because if they had any balls, they'd be on the stage.
Right.
They're in the dark and the protection.
And we've done that.
Yep.
Me
Oh,
and Gallo
pulled him
McNeely, we brought the guy. You think he's so funny? Come on
Yeah,
up.
come on up.
And brought him up. All right, we're gonna bring up blah blah. He's gonna do 5 minutes, and the guy just
Yeah.
and bailed. Every one of them. He's just so right. He's the guy. The heckler's a coward.
Coward.
Because as
You
soon as
have
they
to
get
hide
on
in
that
the
stage,
darkness.
they freeze up and everything, and then you go, not as easy as it looks, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you don't have to worry about nothing. They don't say a word.
So one time I had a heckler who was heckling from the back of the room. So I immediately, it was right after The Dark Knight came out, and I love Bane. So I just went right into Bane and I said, "It must be cozy back there in the dark. The real hero is on the stage." And it just brought the place went nuts. And that was it. He was done. Because how do you fuck with Bane?
Yeah.
Bane has the answer for everything.
That's like a nice comeback.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Which one?
No, like nice. Like it was.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasant.
Like it's a polite
Oh yeah, I'm not as
comeback.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, I try not to hit back. I try to have a proportional
I don't
response.
either. I try to befriend them first.
I've seen
But
you
if
do
that.
that.
Doesn't work,
But then if you have to go to DEF CON 1, you got to go to DEF CON
it
1.
happens.
That's it. They fired first, and
That's it.
you shoot them down.
When you fire back on stage, do you always fire back in character, or does it take like a real heckler to break character? Now you're John Santo, and you're like,
I usually do it in character or a different character because the audience loves it.
right, yeah,
It,
it's funnier
helps
that way.
it helps get the audience into it, and I think it's more effective. So like if I really have to deal with a heckler, I'll just go with a Tony Soprano. I'll be like, "Look, shut the fuck up," and then that's usually.
That'll work.
One time I did myself talking to Johnny. I don't really do a good Johnny Sack, but I was like, "Anthony, why is this fucking asshole talking to my nephew's comedy show?" And I'm like, "John, take it easy. They're not having a good time. He just said something. Everybody's got a goddamn opinion." I just thought I don't even do a good Johnny Sack, but I just seen that episode of The Sopranos when
Right,
Johnny
right.
lost it.
Yeah.
I'm like, do that. So it worked.
And you're a pretty big dude. What are you, like 6'4"? How tall are you?
6'2".
6'2"? So next to me, you look like you're 6'4". But you're a big guy, so as Tony Soprano, it's probably kind of intimidating.
Yeah, well, one time I actually said, "Nicky, you just got out of jail. Don't fuck with the guy." And the guy shut right up.
After a while, though, how's it work? Would the bouncer or someone like come over and just put a hand on them and take them out? Like how do they read you?
I don't know, like at Firehouse,
I've only
different
had it
shows.
once where the bouncer had to come around because it got to the point where the audience was now
Now they're pissed.
yelling at this
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. That
Where-
happens
Where
too.
they're like, the guy's like, "Duh," and there's people like, "Shut the fuck up," and they're standing up, "You stupid," and
Yeah.
it's gonna turn into everybody's gonna beat the hell out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, thank you." I'm
Now you're-
defending
yeah.
the heckler, and I'm like, "Oh," and then the bouncer comes and he's like, "You gotta go."
Right, yeah.
And then of course I'm the bad guy after it. That was the one time, and his brother came to me and was like, "I don't appreciate you calling the bouncer on my brother." I'm like, "Your asshole brother got the bouncer called on."
Yeah,
him,
they
not
did to
me."
themselves. Yeah,
I
you're
said,
just
"I'm trying to-"
Yeah,
performing.
we don't randomly say get that guy out. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I've never pointed to somebody and like, "I want him out."
Right,
Never, because you're a bitch if you do that.
Yeah, you got.
But I did a corporate gig once where there is no bouncer at a corporate gig.
Yeah.
And they were all assholes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here and read a freaking phone book because you're paying me whatever. They actually paid pretty good.
Those
Your
corporate
company
gigs,
is not nice.
the corporate gigs are harder because it's all coworkers, everybody's friends, and they all want to make each other laugh, and it's just a pain in the ass, I would assume.
Yeah, and I felt bad because they flew me in and out by helicopter, so I felt bad having to.
Man, look at you. Holy shit.
I just want to announce something. Someone wrote on Facebook Live, "Don for president."
Wow, yes. Once they dig into my past, they will realize.
Why
that
not?
it's
Everybody else is running.
Now, with you guys, kind of being pretty new, how long you been doing stand-up now, Heather?
I took the class here a couple of years ago, but I've been busy, so I've been doing I produce my own show in the Little Room, and I've done a few shows in there, and I go to a lot of open mics.
Wait,
but-
you book shows?
Yeah, she does it all.
Shit, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
now
10.
She said that too.
I didn't know she booked shows.
Can we give her more than 10?
Heather wins, everybody.
Heather won.
Five, but-
Wait, do you book shows?
I'll wait
I
till
didn't
it's
know
my
she was
turn.
nobody told me she was a booker.
Eli's like, I book with the weed. If you got, want to see some more tens?
I booked the show here before, and actually, if you really want to be on some shit like that, Kevin James actually came by that night and did a few minutes.
Who? Rick James?
Nah, he was dead, but I wish he came by. Kevin James.
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin
okay.
Yeah, he came by.
He's like, oh.
He went on the main stage and he came in the little room and.
And did
I
a
thought
spot
that was
on
pretty-
your show in the living room?
Oh, very
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
Nice.
dope. So
10.
10.
Wait, I wrote 10 on everybody.
Everybody's got 10.
Everybody got 10.
You get a 10. You get a 10.
It's a tie.
You gonna do that in my face? And then
You didn't know I have my own radio show?
No, it's a tie. It's a tie.
don't you know I said
I want to change my
cut that out. Cut that out. Cut
I
that
have
out.
my own
Cut
radio
that out.
show
Fans is
hanging out
watching.
with
They
Heather.
said Heather did this, Heather did that. I said, sure.
As a future presidential candidate, I have to say that you both deserve 10s.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Sound more like Oprah.
But I don't get to do a lot of shows because I'm.
Oh, well then.
Oh, you don't
No,
do
no,
a
no.
lot?
I'm saying myself. myself.
Oh, wait, no, she does
back
book.
again.
She does book. How many shows you do a year? Divide that by the
I
10.
might do a big. I might
She
do
got-
a big April bash,
April.
birthday bash. Who's an Aries? Anyone?
Nobody.
November. What are you talking about?
Anyone? Anyone?
6.
No. I have my radio show on a couple times a month, so I'm always looking for
Where
good
can people find the
guests.
radio show?
This
On the
is
radio?
an online radio app called KBJB Radio, and it's a free app. It's 24-hour original artists music, which I love. They only want original artists, and I have my show hanging out with Heather Thursday nights at 8. And you'll see me live on Facebook this Thursday with Connie and Chrissy from Date Night.
Oh.
As my guests.
Very good people.
They're
Yes,
going to be guests on my show soon, too.
Yeah, I saw your
I know, they missed out because they were filming something.
Yeah. No, Louis C.K. was here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
the great Louis C.K. What do
great
you
Louis
guys
C.K.
what do you guys stand on that whole
Here's
Louis
the
C.K.?
thing. There's comics. We all knew this shit long before the world did. We all knew it. Everybody knew. Like, you didn't have anybody actually say, yeah, he did it. I seen him do it. But, like, everybody was like, yeah, Louis likes to jerk off in front of women. Yeah, Cosby rapes women. Like, Cosby drugs women and rapes women. Everybody be like, come on, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, seriously. That's
But it
what
was
he
all
does.
floating around.
It was just comedy folklore. Like, you knew it. Nobody said. Hannibal was like one of the first people to actually say it to the public.
Right.
And that's how it brought hold. And
The
thank
Cosby
God
thing.
He
He broke it. Yeah,
And
yeah.
thank God he did. That bastard was going around doing that for that long.
Yeah.
He's
You
the
know,
reason
they-
why he went down.
Yeah, Hannibal
Yeah.
Buress, man. He dropped the bomb.
Yeah,
And
but like,
Well, to be honest, to be honest, America failed. I'm gonna blame y'all white people for this. No, straight up.
How is
'Cause
white
how about-
people's fault?
'Cause we love
Cuz,
him.
Let me
We
finish.
praise
And
him.
you go, how many years ago? I think wasn't Bill Cosby on Larry King talking to Sofia Vergara talking about how if he puts a pill in your drink, it was on television. He said it on television.
yeah, but he was on Larry King.
That's right.
Nobody saw it.
We don't watch that.
Nobody
We
saw
watch
it.
Telemundo and shit.
That's Jews.
We watch Telemundo, bro.
Window.
Salvatore Grande, you got some beautiful women on Salvatore
Oh, I just watch the weather. I love the weather on the Telemundo.
Sure you do.
Oh,
I
hell
do
yeah.
all my
You
weather
do.
in Celsius now. It's amazing.
That is one hell of a weather channel.
There was you hear all these stories, and there's a buttload of stories about a buttload of people that the world don't know about yet. But it's not surprising because there's a lot of weirdos in this business. A lot of weirdos.
To me, with Louis though, do you think? Because last time he performed here,
Yeah.
somebody taped it. It went viral. He got a lot of negative feedback. Do you think
Yeah.
he will ever be forgiven and truly accepted
I
back?
think eventually he will be forgiven. Like, all right, so T.J. Miller, right?
Right.
He's a comedian. He's been in all these movies now and everything like that. He's got 5 different sexual assault charges against him. He made a bomb threat on a train or plane or some shit. You know, so he's got a movie coming out.
Yeah, they forgave him, yeah.
You're forgiving him.
Right.
Louis didn't hurt anybody. He just feet off.
He
And
always
he's
asks for permission,
Right.
too.
He asked them, see, that's why you got to have it on the table. Like, is it okay if I masturbate in front of you?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Now it's okay. And then you
Right.
go to
And then
town.
you go to town.
And those are the only people he did it in front of. Like the other one he was on the phone with. Really? You got offended because Louis was...
You need to start being like the police with the body cams.
Yeah, exactly.
Record.
I had a consensual affair with Salma Hayek. I don't know if a lot of people.
I know about her.
You just
I
want to
know
get
about
that.
her.
That was a while ago, and she said I was
Hayek?
the best lover she ever had, but that wasn't widely reported.
The thing I liked about the whole Louis situation, and maybe I got it wrong, but I kind of was under the impression that Louis, he fessed up about it and wrote letters to these women like way before it came out in the news.
Yeah.
Like he was sitting around one day and he was like, you know what?
I was messed up. Yeah.
Maybe that was something. Maybe they felt like they had to say yes. Like it just hit him one day, and he was like, and he reached out, and I feel like he made it right. So
I think so, too.
Like
I
to
think
me,
so too, but again, that's up to the general public. He didn't, like I said, he didn't rape anybody, or he didn't but that doesn't mean that what he did wasn't bad. It's still
Not
bad.
like Matt Lauer.
But
I mean,
right.
with the lock.
Yeah.
And nobody
Yeah.
knew he had a lock on the
Yeah.
door.
Right.
Come
Like,
on.
Yeah, it's
what's
totally
his name?
different.
Harvey
Weinstein,
Oh, he's
yeah.
the worst of them.
Stuff like those guys should be put under the jail.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where they
yeah.
should be. And it's sad. I'm gonna get into the whole this thing. When that Harvey Weinstein thing came out, I was sitting talking with a woman that I'm friends with, and it was what's her face went up to his room, and it was just him and her, and she said, well, what did she expect was gonna happen? And I said she expected to have a meeting with one of her peers,
Right.
and not have to worry about
Right.
getting sexually assaulted or raped. And then it like hurt my heart that this woman said this. Like that's the culture that we live in. That like
Right.
if you go in a room with a man and it's just you and him,
Yeah.
you better get ready for penis
Yeah.
because it's coming. And it's okay. And it's not supposed to be like that. So like I said, Louis, he asked those girls for permission. Maybe they felt like they had to because he was Louis C.K.
Yeah.
and
Right,
everything
right.
like that. I feel bad for them that they had to see that, chubby little thing covered in red pubes and beating on
A
it.
chubby
but-
little thing.
But in the corporate world, I mean, I work in the corporate world, and you can't enter the hotel room of another employee. If
Yeah.
you're traveling at a convention or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
because sometimes I help people with their laptops, we have to meet in a public place. I cannot
Yeah,
enter the
down in
room
the-
of a
in the
female
lobby.
employee.
yeah.
Right.
That's the
I
tone
mean,
of
I'm
it,
a
yeah.
consultant for computers. I have to be able to get to the computer.
But then again,
They could
again,
But
accuse you.
we have to do it in a
Yeah.
public
that's how
place.
our
It protects
culture-
both of you.
That's how
Yeah.
our culture is.
Yeah.
That you can't, a woman can't feel safe going into a room with a
Right.
man there and being alone with that man because she's afraid. Not she's afraid, but it's the guy's locker room thing where she
No.
came in and I
Yeah,
threw
yeah.
my dick at her and look.
Right.
No, that's not how it is. At some point you have to realize that your mother's a woman, your sister's a woman,
Yep, you gotta
your
respect
wife is a
them.
woman. And if somebody did that to them, if my mom was like, "My God, I went to the room and the guy can't," I'd be like, "Where is he?" I'm like, "Over there,"
Yeah.
and I would cut that dick off and shove it up his
Where is
ass.
he? Yeah.
Right. So
Can I just tell you from a woman's point of view?
Yeah,
It's scary for me to be home alone and someone comes to my door.
of course.
Oh,
It
sure.
doesn't even matter,
Right.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
a guy asks me, if a top executive, even in the acting world, thank God I didn't have to go through that crap with casting couches and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But if a guy asked me to come to to do a photo shoot or something alone,
Yeah.
I bring someone.
Yeah.
Sure, of
I'm,
course.
I'm
you
always
can't-
nervous.
And that's sad.
That's
a
sad, but
commentary
it's a good thing
that's
that you're
how it
doing
is.
that.
Of
Right,
course.
exactly.
And that's why
it's
it has
sad
to
it
be-
has to be, but it's
It
good
has
that
to be
she's-
made more. Everyone has to be made more aware of it so that it doesn't happen like that.
But 20 years ago, when I used to travel with coworkers, we used to go into each other's rooms all the time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like one person would check in quick, and I would just, we put all the luggage in one room. Now you can't do anything like that. You're not allowed to enter the room of another employee.
Yeah, a few
Crazy.
years ago, I used to go into the rooms and masturbate with no problems. And
Yeah.
now all of a sudden,
And raid
Now
the
it's a
minibar.
problem.
Now all of a sudden you
You
can't.
ever raid the minibar? Just jerking off one hand, chugging jack
Yeah,
Daniels with the
those are
other?
the
You know,
good old days.
you know where it's a
Now?
big problem though. On a lot of companies, they don't just fly executives on private aircraft. They fly mid-level employees, and some of the jets have staterooms. So who gets the stateroom and
Oh,
who's on the
yeah.
couch for an overnight flight to Europe?
right.
So it's supposed to be the highest ranking person, but there's a little, and now you're in the air. There is no
Right.
where you're gonna go. There's no one to call. You're in the air.
It just this whole it's just complicating everything. This whole this
Scary.
PC. It's for a reason, but it's a shame.
But I honestly
yeah.
don't feel different 10 years ago than I do now. It's not like worse for me. I've
Right.
always felt like that. I'm a tiny woman,
Right.
and I'm always going to be nervous if I'm alone with a man in the room. you know?
Yeah.
But what if you were on a private plane with another male employee
I have
going
been.
to Europe, right? So what
I
do you?
have been.
That's
It's going to be
What
part
the
of
hell
my.
you two doing even on a private plane?
I know. I want.
No,
I couldn't even get a flight to Indianapolis. I had to drive there. You three guys are flying on private jets.
I was a flight attendant. It's going to be part of my
oh, you were a flight attendant.
bit, but I
yeah.
also flew on private corporate jets.
Yep.
And thank goodness, just the pilots were worse than anything. The pilots.
pilots?
The
Yeah.
pilots. But that's going to be part of my act now, so I don't want to.
As soon as I get $6 million, I'm done with the airlines. I'm gonna have my own plane.
There you go.
How much
Same
longer
here.
you
No,
have?
when we go to New Jersey gigs, Tony, no more bridges. We fly right over the traffic.
I'm with you. When I get my $6 million, I'm right there with you. We'll have our.
I'm gonna buy a Piaggio Avante, Italian plane.
Nice.
The
There you
Goots.
go, nice.
It's an Italian turboprop.
That's nice. Well, you need if you need somebody to spin the prop for you to get it started, I'm your man.
All right, everybody, are you ready for your set? The 3-minute set will be our round 4. Each comedian will do their set. And we're gonna have Benny tell us what's round 4.
Round 4 is best 3 minutes. This is the round that we've all been waiting for. This is where we get to see the best 3 minutes that each comedian has. This is the best of their stand-up sets. This will show us the skills that pay the bills.
Did you write that yourself? No.
He got it out of Reader's Digest.
Heather, we will do ladies first, and we will start with you, Heather. You
10
have 3
for
minutes.
Heather.
Oh my God.
Oh, we didn't start yet. I'm kidding. I'm a kid.
Terrible.
I want you on my show, John Santo.
11 and a half.
She's padding the deck here.
Oh,
All right,
No,
everybody
I'm
ready?
dicking over here.
It's called a
The-
quid
the-
pro
the-
quo.
Working it up.
No
Quid
quid pro
pro
quo.
quo.
No quid pro quo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Lerman.
It is so great to be back here in Levittown. This is my hometown. Yes,
Yes.
we had a great time growing up as kids. We went to the petting zoo all the time called Zorn's. Our parents dropped us off right at Tri-County Flea Market. It was so fun and exciting and alive. Everything. 3 for $5. I felt rich. But, our parents would drop us off at age 7 for hours. Like, no fear of kidnapping or human trafficking. I guess Levittown kids just weren't worth it. Well, I don't know what happened to that place. Have you been in there lately? Because it's so creepy and empty. Kind of like Epstein's jail cell.
Oh.
Well, someone had to make room for Lori McLaughlin. Speaking of, I live in the North Shore now. It's so nice. But I love inviting my Levittown or not so intelligent friends because they come up and they compliment my home. I invite the North Shore people. Oh, it's so cute. Look, the dining room's the size of our 4-year-old's bedroom's bathroom. Honey, put some extra Visine in her coffee. That's an old flight attendant trick we used to do to the pilots when they try to sexually harass us. And don't tell me you stoners in the room haven't gotten a little in your mouth when you missed your eyes. We're still talking Visine here. And felt a little rumble in your tummy and said, oh, shit. Literally. I love how the men's faces look a little horrified right now. And the women are wondering, do I have any Visine in the house? Does it really work, though? Yes, ladies, it does. I got to add that to my shopping list. So some of you might recognize me from my Dental Shine commercial. It's been on every hour on top of the hour on Channel 12 for over a goddamn year, and I'm not getting paid a dime. It's called Non-Union, or You're Screwed. And I hate when people ask me, did you really get your smile done there? No. I feel bad. I hate disappointing people, like the night I told my husband, Survivor's fake, right? Thanks, hon. You just ruined my life. So dramatic. Well, did everyone have a great Thanksgiving?
Yes.
I know, I'm so stuffed. All the turkey and the trimmings. Just want to say thank you, Zorns, for another great year.
Excellent. Heather Lerman, everybody. That's very good.
I
Very good
produce
stuff.
shows.
She produces shows. No, that was good. I like how you worked a lot of stuff in there. That all makes sense. We talked about the Me Too movement. You mentioned that. You mentioned stoners. You got Eli here. You mentioned Thanksgiving, very topical. Levittown, good stuff. Tri-County Flea Market. I remember those days. What do you guys think? Who's going to start us off? Sally, we begin with you.
Survivor's fake.
Mine's
really?
blown.
Like I said to my husband, why do you think the camera's only with the person getting the idol all the time? Think about it next time you watch it.
I thought it was great. I like your stand-up. I thought it was really nice. I'm going to give you an 8.
An 8 from Sally. Very good score. Tony, what do you think?
Is Survivor still on the air?
Yeah.
It is, really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched.
20-something years.
Yeah.
now.
Really?
The longest.
Bunch of crap. It is. I liked it. It was funny. It's very nerve-wracking to do stand-up in a room like this with only 4 of us here, and we're all staring at you like you're raccoon in the garbage.
Must be
And
nerve-wracking.
so that is nerve-wracking too. Like before, it did sound a little rehearsed, but other than that, it was pretty good. I'm gonna go with Sally. Go with an 8 on that one. So
Very good. 8 from Tony.
I was 20-something before I figured out that zoo was not a zoo. It was next, in line to be dinner at Zorn's. So I like the Zorn's reference. So I was very funny, very topical. Had some really good Epstein jokes, which are very popular right now, and the Lori Loughlin thing. So I'm going to give it an 8 too.
Excellent. Yeah, very good stuff. Very topical. And for someone who you said hasn't been on stage in a while, you definitely must have wrote that just for this. I mean, there's a lot of topical stuff. It was great. So if I was to give you a score, and because you book shows, I'd give you a 10. I'm just kidding.
Thanks, Don.
But my score does not count. I love everyone equally.
And Epstein did not kill himself. I think we all know that.
Very good.
I just said they needed room for Lori McLaughlin. That's all.
Eli,
No, that's true.
She
You didn't-
deserves to be there.
She deserves to be there.
how you feeling, Eli?
Oh, great.
You ready to rock and roll?
I was born ready.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Let me get another hoorah!
Hoorah!
Yes. Eli Velasquez.
Please, everybody sit down. Now, as you guys know, I'm a veteran and I'm a minority, so that means you can only hate one. Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. I'm Puerto Rican, but as the racists say, I'm Mexican. It's a great thing because, yeah, it's a great thing because when they see me, you can see it in their eyes. They really want to call me a spick, but then they just say it out loud. They be like, "You're a goddamn patriot." Throws them on an awkward fence. They don't know what to do. They don't know whether to thank me or hate me. It's a great thing. But I'm a fuck up. I don't make that many good choices every now and then. I'm sure we all do. Ain't nobody perfect. But anybody ever drunk text? Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm happy for you. I drunk voicemailed. Yeah. I was at work one day minding my own business. All of a sudden I get a text from my ex-girlfriend. She was like, "Yo, you just disrespected me. How you gonna do that? That was very disrespectful." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Obviously, I was very shit-faced. So she sent me a clip of the voicemail. So all of a sudden, I sit there and I hear the voicemail and I hear it. "Girl, you look pretty. Let me suck on your titty. Girl, you look pretty. Let me suck on your titty." So I hit her back and I was like, "That's not me. I have respect." And she was like, "Oh, really?" Send me the other half of the voicemail. I hit play. All of a sudden, I hear, "How you doing, Abigail? It's Eli." "Girl, you look pretty." Let me. So I never responded back. Says the same. People, I'm not very much of a people person. I stay to myself. There's one thing that I don't like what people do. Don't you hate when you're trying to show them something on your phone and they just hover right over it? I hate that because I look them right at their eyes. I'm like, "Look, I'm about to show them a picture of my cat," and they over my phone. I'm like, "Look, bro, cat ain't the only thing you about to see. Unless you're prepared to see a dick pic, I prefer you step away from the phone." It just annoys me because now I gotta look through my photos all secretly. Not cool. But as we know, it's a crazy world 2019. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor. Obviously, the world had to one-up it, and Trump's president. Boom. There you go. Nah. But I like to be a very motivational person to help people out. It's rough times nowadays. So I got a couple quotes. First quote is, if the world can see it the way I can, it'll be a better place. Stevie Wonder.
Very nice.
Yeah. Another quote.
Man.
Another quote is, don't let things in life tie you up. Jeffrey Epstein. Now I got some 2 new ones I'm going to leave off with you guys, and then I'm going to go on my merry way. Certain times in life, it can get a little rough. You just keep taking a stab at it. O.J. Simpson. And the last but not least, it's an oldie but a goodie. Life can get very shaky. Just learn to gain control. Michael J. Fox.
Oh, and time. Very good.
Nah, because I messed up because I forgot to hit my timer.
That's all good. Eli Velasquez, everyone. Eli Velasquez. Eli, that was some good stuff. What is your essence of coming up with your set?
I mean, anything. Obviously, you make a set as you perform it and try to make it better. There's times where you're also thinking of other things. So when you take one set and then you add a new one, you're going to remix that set and include the new. And before you know it, you got multiple sets because it all started with one. So I don't really base it off of a topic or an idea. It's pretty much if it pops in my head and I feel like it could be funny, then I'm going to write it down and try to make something of it. And that's it. You know, there's no real premise on what to think about certain things, but not all the time.
Yeah, you got a good style of comedy. I like it's conversational. You feel like it's in the moment. So I like what you're doing. Let's go to our judges. John, what do you think of Eli's?
It was really funny, and I really like the quotes because I like puns, and I feel like that's like a pun on steroids. It's like a play on words type thing, and I think you will hit all the topics, current topics. I would do more. The only advice I would give is try to do more of those because they're really good.
Oh, I got more.
Oh, you got more? All right, good. So then, I mean, is that like a big part of your
I'll tell you
act?
this much. I've been doing the quotes for a little while, and a lot of people who've heard it have always told me that's something new. Keep doing it.
Right.
And I knew when I made like the first 2 quotes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the way people reacted, like I think the Stevie Wonder one, that was like one of the original.
Yeah.
And just how like, you hear it and then you hear Stevie Wonder, like I saw your reaction. It was like, oh, and to me that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
now after that first quote, you're now already prepared.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
the quote things is definitely something that I actually want to incorporate as just a set in itself.
Okay.
And that would separate me from the rest. To
Yeah,
where
because I don't think I've ever heard anybody. Have you ever heard anybody do
You've
that?
never
I
heard
mean,
it
I never have.
until
big.
now.
There's things
No,
on,
no.
on the
Ever,
internet where
ever.
people are making
Like memes.
But I mean, like in a
big
stint.
quote memes. Like I've just found one, and it was, "If one more time traveler tries to kill me, I'm gonna go off in this motherfucker. I'm just a painter, Adolf Hitler."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but-
I love things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it in a stand-up.
No,
and it's
I've
good.
never seen
yeah.
it in a stand-up routine.
I think it's great. I
Yeah.
think it's really great. And I got to come back to you with a number. I don't know. That was tough.
Yeah, come on, let's go, man.
I'm debating between. All right, I'm gonna say 9 then.
A
It was
niner.
really good. Yeah,
Very good.
it's tough. It's tough.
It is. They're 2 talented people.
Yes.
Right? All right, Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, I like those quotes. It was really nice. I like your flow, like the way you talk and
Yeah, the
everything like
flow's
that. It's not like you sound like you're just hanging out, hanging out with your boys, having a conversation or whatever. So I like that. There's nothing wrong with titty sucking.
That's going to be my Facebook post.
That's what I do mean. Nothing wrong with titty
That's
sucking.
awesome.
But I like the whole thing of it. Little stutters there and stuff, but it's just like
Yeah.
it's the situation you're in, and it just needs to be polished a little bit, but it'll go fine. I'm gonna go with John. I'm gonna say 9 also.
Very good. Very good. All right, Sally. What do you say about our buddy Eli?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 10. I thought it was
Wow.
great. I thought it was really good. I thought you were like really comfortable, and you know, it's like I thought it was really polished. I thought it was really good.
Very
It's like all
good.
over
A
the
10
place.
from Sally O'Neill, everybody. Well, I just want to say you guys are both great. I thank you both for coming and just for being here on the show. I just want to give you guys an applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
It's not all the time, we can mix it up with a Marine and a woman who
Children's
writes
book.
children's
Yeah,
books.
this is a unique combination.
Yeah, and they battle it out, and they're both kind of on equal footing, and I
Yeah.
think both of you delivered. Neither one of you disappointed, so no matter what the outcome is, we're all winners here. And
Well, I'm about to go to work after this.
so, all right, so maybe you're the loser here. No, but
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just
Ask
gonna-
me what I do.
What do you do?
I'm a bouncer at a strip club.
Oh, okay. Well, there you have it.
Where? Let's all go.
Hanging out with Eli after night.
Let's wait till the show's over. Can't have everybody. Yeah, I know Eli. Yeah. Fuck you don't.
Excuse me, I'm with Eli. I'm just going to the dressing room. I'll be right back.
Eli said free lap dances for all of us. While the Gagoots tallies up the scores, let's go through everybody and get your some plugs in. We'll start with you, Sally. What do you got going on?
I don't have anything going on. It's all right. You can
You got Knock 'em Dead?
All right, well, we got our Knock 'em Dead comedy radio show. It's on Monday through Friday here, 11 to 1.
And it's a great
That was
comedy
it,
show. You got
yeah.
any guests coming up on next week?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, we had a whole bunch last week. We had Jackie the Joke Man. We had like a whole bunch of people on last week. I'm trying to think of what we got going on this week.
You guys have been doing
Coming
great.
up. Yeah.
I think everyone should tune in, support govsradio.com, and tune in to the Knock 'em Dead morning radio show from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's always great, always a lot of fun with Tony, Eric, and Sally. Tony Lindorfi, what do you got going on?
Thanks.
Lindolfi.
Well, you can hear me here every Wednesday night, 7:30 to 8:30 on Three's Company Radio with Mandy Jones and Bonnie Scalisi. Our guest this Wednesday coming up is going to be Rich Walker.
Nice.
So we'll have him on, and it should
Hopefully
be
he's
great.
dried out by then.
Hopefully he's sobered up by then. Stand-up wise, being we're here, I'll plug the gig here. December 20th, I will be here in the little room with Mandy Jones and Bonnie Scalisi and Terry McNeely. Go to www.govs.com. Get your tickets. The last month we did, the show sold out. The show sold out. God damn, I had one monster and I'm tripping. So make sure you go there and get your tickets. Make sure you specify for the little room and come down and see us. We're going to have a great time.
Excellent. John, what do you got cooking these days?
All the dates for my upcoming shows will be updated by the middle of the month for on johnsantocomedian.com. My 2020 schedule is booking up fast, so if you're a booker, book me now. That's a polite way of saying I really don't have a lot solid locked in for the first quarter, so I'm looking for a couple of extra gigs. But I'm going on a cruise in April,
Excellent.
cruise ship gig, so
There you go. Is this your
It's
first
fun.
cruise you've ever done? Ever worked?
yep, it will be.
Very cool, man.
line?
Norwegian.
No easy.
Excellent.
Norwegian.
Gotta keep it clean for the blue hands.
How about you, Heather? What do you
Good.
got going on here?
Well, I know I didn't win. I know I came in second.
We don't
Always
know that
being-
No, we don't know that yet.
Always being bullied. I'm just too ahead with. I'm too smart and ahead with the math already. But anyway.
She did the math in her head.
Yeah, she.
She should get a point for that.
I know.
She has.
That's it. I forfeit, guys. I didn't learn math in my public school.
But I didn't get any. I wish I got a little bit of more constructive criticism from the last score. I didn't really get. Besides
More feedback, you think?
Yeah, more feedback.
all right.
Besides sounding rehearsed. That's
So,
really all.
Oh.
Well, that's all.
That's
that was it.
That's it.
Everything else was good. Your material was good. Your premise was great. Both of you need to learn learn how to segue into the next thing. Your set should be like one whole story,
Yeah.
the whole thing. So it's the basic formula is set up, delivery, punch, segue. That's it. Set up, punch, segue. Set up, punch, segue, and just try to segue it into it. But that's going to come with time.
Yeah.
That's not. You're not going to get that right now. Nobody's. You gotta. If you're in my book, if you got less than 10 years, you're still a noob. So
Oh,
it's
I'm way new then.
right. But that's it. There was nothing bad about it. I thought it was
very good. It was very funny. Like I said, it's just his sounded more natural coming out of him. Whereas
I should smoke pot next time.
I don't do I don't smoke
I think
pot.
I know where
It's
you're
just-
getting from.
No, I mean, I might. It might work.
You never know. It might help. Maybe a couple scotches. I don't know. but that was it. If I had any other criticisms, I would have. Believe me, I would have told you. I wouldn't have held it back.
Both were excellent, really.
Yeah, I feel
excellent
just to
contestants.
be
It's really
in this
difficult.
situation, like I said, the whole show. And by the way, I think this is a great idea you
It's
came
a
up
great
with.
idea.
Thanks, Tom.
But just to be in this situation, I know pros that could. Bobby Collins is in the big room right now. I bet you if we put him in here,
Yeah.
he'd be funny, but he'd have a hard time doing it. So for
True
guys,
indeed.
2 years, 3 years, whatever you guys got to,
Yeah.
you guys held your own. You
I'm a
both
freshman, man.
you both
I'm a
these
freshman.
should be proud. So
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was all on camera.
Yes.
I mean, that's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
So that means if anybody steals my quotes, I'm gonna
Yeah.
find you. I got
My
proof.
mustache jokes.
yeah.
I got proof.
Tens of 20s of people have watched it right now. And
We got thousands
About
on
four.
the Facebook Live.
Four,
We
yeah.
do.
That's a lot of people. There's 10 million people watching all over the world. I'm just saying. And they
Yeah.
never show. They never show the size
From
of the
this
crowd.
angle, you
Fake
have a Trump
news,
face.
They never show the crowd.
He has a Trump face from this angle.
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
great.
It's totally. I mean,
Yeah.
No, but you have to look like that way.
oh,
like-
that way.
Yeah.
That way it looks better on the side. They never show how crowded the room
It
is.
is.
on
There's
the
a
news.
huge crowd on
Fake
that.
news. CNN fake.
So I have my radio show on. It's on an app on your phone for free. Download it, KBJB Radio, and like I said, it's all original artist music, which I love, supporting the original artists. And I have a show hanging out with Heather, and I just have different guests that are fun and exciting, and every Thursday at 8 p.m. And I do my show at the Glen Cove Mansion, which is awesome. They give me
Wow.
a private suite.
Wow.
And I'm never alone in it with a man. No, just kidding.
Not even your husband.
I get it. No, they give me a beautiful suite to do the show in. So I told Connie and Chrissy they're coming on board this Thursday. So watch us on Facebook
Where's the
Live at
Glen
6.
Cove? Is that the old Harrison House?
It was always
Glen
the Glen
Cove
Cove.
No, it's always been
It's
the
a
Glen Cove.
hotel now.
Yeah.
Off the Saurus on Glen Cove.
Different
Wow,
place.
very cool.
So that's where the
Performing
neck
in
of the
mansion.
woods we live in.
Man.
I was trying to show my savviness of Long Island landmarks.
not working.
Didn't work.
They
It was
actually
wrong.
invited me to host Breakfast with Santa on Saturday, the 7th. So there's going to be like 200 kids there, and I'm going to be signing my
On
book.
December
Oh,
7th?
Excellent.
Oh, cool.
Beautiful.
They didn't know it was
And
Pop's
the
birthday.
14th.
luck. I'll say Novena for you, 200 kids.
Hey, if I could sell 200 books.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
The fact that you got a little 200
Yes.
kids running around.
Oh no, they'll be on Santa's lap. They just come to me when they leave.
There you go.
And maybe they'll ask for the book from Santa.
Yeah,
No,
and
they
then
want
you
the
can
book
cash in.
now.
Now, I
Not
want it
from
now.
Santa.
And then I
What's
I
it
love the
now?
open mics. I love the Bean with Les Stegan. Hey Les, Coasters, Bonnie Scalisi,
Bonnie's.
and I've gone to 1A Jack, Ziggy's. I've gone to the open mic, so
Just keep
you
hitting
never
them.
know.
That's the best advice
Yeah.
I can give to both of you. Get as much stage time as you can. This is just like any other job.
Yep.
The more experience you have, the better you're going to get at it.
Yep.
Get as much. When I started out, I was hitting mics all the time. At least 5 nights a week, I was doing a mic. Sometimes 6. On Wednesdays, we used to go to the city and hit 5 mics in one night. You just
Yeah,
gotta
all over
get
the place, yeah,
as
yeah.
much time as you can. Get as much time as you can, and just keep writing. Write, and just keep trying it out. Do the joke like 5 times and gauge how it works. If you don't get at least 3 laughs out of those 5 times, throw it into the thing or retool it or whatever like that. But just get up as much as you can. You have to.
Solid advice. And Eli, you got any plugs?
Yeah, I got a few. I'm Eli Velasquez. I'm the shit. That's the first one. No, I actually got a show in New Jersey, December 7th, but I got one in Coasters Tavern, December 13th. I also have one in Broadway Comedy Club, December 21st. And I think, because I went to see a drag show and they incorporated comedy yesterday, and I think they're doing December 22nd here at Governor's. And I think they actually asked me to be a part of that. I'm not 100% sure.
I think.
But
You guys got more dates than me.
first of all, what was your first piece of advice you just gave?
I know.
Get as much stage time.
That's true.
I think you look good in the dress, actually.
I don't do the dresses. It's
Sure
cool. It's
you
actually
do.
it's a fun environment. Actually, it's pretty cool.
They've been here. When we
Yeah,
did the
yeah,
show,
no, they're
and
pretty
good
cool,
people.
and to
Benny
them to
likes
ask
them.
me to do it, like I said,
Benny
it's
likes
time on the mic, so I can't.
I had
turn
one
that
try to
down.
pick me up. I'm no kid, you're not.
Yeah, it's because you have that apron.
I'm no kid, you with the apron, the mustache. She said, "How much you charge for a mustache ride?" I said, "Get to your sister." I'm you're not gonna get a no free mustache ride from me.
Goons.
He's a very sick man, Benny. Very sick. He's a sicko. A total sicko. You thought I was bad. Benny's horrible.
Goons, do you have the scores for the final scores?
I got the scores. I got to tell you, this was a great contest because you had two high scores. Heather got a 93, which is a great score, 93. Eli got a 97. Eli is our new champ. But Heather did great.
Tonight's winner,
I'll take
Eli
it, eh?
Velasquez, everybody.
That was awesome.
You awesome.
Very good. Congratulations, Eli. Any final words you'd like to say to everybody?
Nah, thank you for having me part of the show. Thank you, Heather, for being a worthy opponent.
What did
I definitely don't judge a book by its cover. I knew she was bringing heat, but no, this is awesome. I love the show premise. Now I know. So, like reading Rainbow, the more you know. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's awesome. I appreciate it. And,
Excellent.
I take all the criticism. You got to take it. I really want to do this for as long as I could, and I take every one of y'all words.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. It was great.
Who came up with this idea?
I did. A while ago.
Smoking weed with Benny?
Yeah,
Like,
I was
you know what'd be
actually.
cool,
I
bro?
got.
We just
I got.
get two cards, we put in a room. And we get that stupid fucking wheel you got in your closet. Spin it.
And it's Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune means stand up.
That's exactly how it happened.
And we
We just hanging out in the garage.
yeah. We'll get Alfredo Gagoots out of the mothballs. We'll bring him back.
And we brought in the wheel just for our show tonight.
This mustache is like 10 years old.
And we'll make it 2 hours.
You want to know what's funny? You want to know what's funny?
And without a break.
At the
wanted to
strip
be
club,
able to
they got the same wheel. It says free lap day. It's actually a pretty fun game.
And the
I
Gagoots are
can't get a
spinning
part
it
of
as well.
But that's funny. When I saw that,
spinning it dressed
when I saw that, I was like, "This motherfucker go to my job and get that
He's
shit."
wearing a Speedo.
We're gonna be there tonight with the same getup.
Well, that's the show for tonight. I want to thank all of our contestants for coming, and of course our judges. What a blast it's been today. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up. And also, if you're interested in being on the show, email us at putupshutupandandup@gmail.com. Also, be sure to check out all the shows on govradio.com all week long, as there's a ton of great shows always on this station. And make sure you come out to Governor's Comedy Club and support live comedy, because there's no better place to see stand-up than to see it live.
For live comedy.
Yes. And I'm Don Sill, and on behalf of everyone here, I want to say thank you and always be funny. Yes, thank you, everybody. Awesome.